There's greatness in the making.
Blacksburg, Virginia is hoop heaven. History for the Hokies.
I'm ready for war. I said I'm ready for more. You can't stop me. You can't stop me.
Rivers with the drives again. Kelly is good.
They wanna go to war. Then come and bring it on.
Kelly, Virginia Tech knocks off the unbeaten Wolfpack.
You can't stop me.
Zion James has joined the 30-point club.
They wanna go to war. Then come and bring it on.
Georgia Amore picks the pocket, and Amore lays it up and in.
Can't stop me. You can't stop me.
Rivers is going to make them explode with the steal and the finish.
Go to war. Then come and bring it on. I'ma give it my all. You can't stop me.
Woo! If that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will. Raleigh, North Carolina is the place to be tonight because we are gearing up for a top 20 showdown on the road right here in beautiful Reynolds Coliseum. It's quiet right now. Well, quiet in that shot at least. We still got shoot around going on behind us. NC State's on the court. But it is going to be rocking. Sold out crowd tonight as 16th ranked Virginia Tech comes to town to take on the 3rd ranked Wolfpack. As I just mentioned, they're finishing up behind me. We don't want to show you too much because we don't want to give everything away because it's going to be quite the show tonight. Taylor Tannenbaum alongside Kelly Gramlich, Ivory Latta over there, and our Hall of Famer, Muffet Murgaw. I know it's a different cast of characters for ACC PM today, but we've got you covered for 2 hours. They will join throughout. And of course, Kelsey Riggs is in the building here too because Nothing But Net will have you covered after the game and throughout the night to cover all 7 games going on around the league, including the big one here tonight. Also, by the way, top 20 showdown up in South Bend in Louisville between Notre Dame and Louisville tonight. So a lot to break down. I know. Are you excited about that one, Coach? I think she's fired up, but we're fired up to be here today. And man, it's been almost a month to the day that we saw the matchup between the Hokies and the Wolfpack go down. And it was crazy. It came down to the final seconds with Virginia Tech coming out with the win. Kelly, you were on the call for that game. What do you remember about that moment and what we watched?
It was epic. I mean, that game was so good. Of course, it came down to the end. It came down to NC State executing and then Virginia Tech. And these two have played such good games with each other over the past couple of years. So could we get another instant classic, guys? I think it's a very good possibility that we will.
That was such a great pass by Kayla King to end that game. But, you know, NC State had the lead the entire game. They were up 12 at one point. They really probably are looking for a little revenge tonight.
Hey, Kelly, you called it. I was actually in studio jumping up and down when I saw it. I'm like, there's no way. Oh, my God. NC State made the shot, and then all of a sudden Virginia Tech wins the game off that shot. I was just like, what an amazing game. The atmosphere was even rocking in the studio.
And I know the Wolfpack are excited not only for a little redemption, but that it's here in their building because this season they're undefeated on their home floor. 12-0, and by the way, that's including 4-0 against ranked opponents. So obviously you can consider it friendly confines, but not so friendly. A big difference in tonight's game, though, Kelly, is the fact that River Baldwin will be a go for NC State. Obviously, she's the presence inside, and that is a big difference maker.
Y'all, there are 2 teams in the country that are undefeated with their starting 5. South Carolina and NC State. NC State's 2 losses to Virginia Tech and Miami came with River Baldwin out when she had the ankle injury. She's been back for a couple of games. It's not like this is her first game back, so that's a good sign. And she didn't play in the first matchup. I think having River Baldwin is good for NC State, of course, because it adds depth and all of that. But how will it change how this matchup is played when it comes to ball screen coverages, all that, Coach? But it is good, of course, for NC State to have River Baldwin back, and she can bang inside with Kitley.
Well, and you're right. Mimi Collins did a really good job on Kitley. She's a little more mobile. She can get out and guard on the perimeter. Probably better in guarding the ball screen. I think that's going to be a big key tonight. But River Baldwin just has that presence, and I really thought they lost that game in a play where Virginia Tech got 3 consecutive offensive rebounds, finally scored. That, to me, was more the play of the game than the one at the end.
Yeah, like y'all said, definitely with the post presence. And as a guard, if I'm playing in this game, I'm thinking about who am I going to put in that pick and roll?
Yes.
You know, what team is really actually going to have a field day with the post players? And then, you know, as a player, when you lose a game like that on the road, this game right here has been stuck with you since that day. It is on your shoulder. You try not to overlook, you know, the other teams that you play, but you got this in the back of your head like, you guys got to come to my place.
Also, think about the last play. Yeah. Would that have been guarded differently if River Baldwin was on the floor? Would you have had more size in there? there's so many what ifs, of course, and NC State, like you said, Coach, played so well in that first matchup. They led by 11 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And Virginia Tech came back, and of course the home court advantage, which I think is so big in this game, flips back to NC State.
How many times do you think NC State head coach Wes Moore watched the tape on that one?
Probably a lot, I would
Quite
guess.
a few times. Coach, fresh off the floor and coming to join us here on the set. Good to see you, Coach.
Good to see you guys.
Yep.
This must be a big occasion. You got Muffet out of South Bend. I mean, heck, this is something special, man.
It's
must
more
be
of
a
a-
leap year or something.
It is,
Yeah.
and it's warmer weather down here in the South.
Yes.
Am I right?
I got our golf clubs.
56 in South Bend. Come on.
That's actually very nice for South Bend, Indiana. All right, you just walked off the floor for shoot around. Now you have a couple of hours till the game. What's the vibe of your team? You can get a good
It's
sense
good.
of your
Good
girls.
energy today. We're not quite done. They're eating pregame here, and then we will watch one last episode of film. But we're close. We're close. Hayes in the barn.
Coach, when you Hayes in the barn, of course. When you think back to that first matchup in Blacksburg, no River Baldwin, of course, but we were just talking about it. You guys led by 11 in the fourth quarter. You had
Thanks
the game
for
under
bringing it
control.
up.
I know.
Heartbreaking.
What can you learn
motivation.
from that game?
Well, again, I could have done a better job. I like, even though I was second guessed by some people in this set here, I like our plan. Now, again, seeing her pass the ball like this, yeah, maybe we should have had somebody on the ball. But, I like our plan. We were supposed to, man on the ball was fronting Kitley, because the last thing I wanted was to see Kitley get it and do that little dirt step back shot at the buzzer. So we had the right idea, but I didn't do a good job maybe of clarifying a couple of things that we needed to emphasize. So, but it's heartbreaking. I'm not over it. I'm still waking up 5 o'clock in the morning thinking about, if we'd have won that game. But again, this league is so good, you can't afford to let one like that get away, and so it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. I've got games 5 years ago. I'm still waking up at 5 a.m. going,
Yeah.
what the
Oh,
heck
wow.
was I
I hope
thinking?
I don't do that.
Honestly, I thought your plan was really good, because that pass was going to be over whoever the inbounder was anyway. And I thought that.
She threw it pretty low.
Yeah.
But we were supposed to be fronting and then dead behind. We didn't quite get that done. Then we were supposed to be switching.
Yeah.
So
Little
go
bump.
up and get that. Instead, we kind of came with a more. But
Yeah.
again, I should have made it clear exactly what everybody's responsibility is. So at the end of the day, that's on me.
Well, I always hated game day. So is it like 4 hours going to be 40 hours till game time for you?
I'm too stressed. Okay, I mean, this stuff's killing me.
I like
and again, the league is so good, and every game is so critical that I wish I handled it a little better. But I wish I could enjoy it. I've talked to some former coaches. Van Chancellor, for instance, said, "Wes, if I had to do over again, I would have enjoyed the wins a little bit more."
Yeah.
But it's just hard. You win, you move on to the next one.
Yeah.
You lose, it eats at you for
Right.
weeks.
I felt the same way, and you almost always end your season with a loss, so there's no way to keep on going.
Right. Well,
but,
you didn't a couple of
a
times.
couple of times, but
Hey, we didn't one year. That was the only good thing about COVID. We won the ACC tournament, and then boom, they canceled the rest of the year. So for once, I got to end the year with a W. So that was the only good thing about COVID.
Hey, Coach, your team is doing very well. How is it coaching Isaiah James, like one of the best guards in the ACC? How is it like coaching her?
Yeah, I mean, again, sometimes you just got to get out of the way and let her go. And when she's on now, hey, let's all get out of the way and let her go. And but she's, again, I'm proud of all of them. I get it. We lost. We had one starter returning and a lot of question marks, and they just have done an unbelievable job. So. And again, how did this happen? I got one guy wearing Carolina blue shoes over here, and then they set us next to each other.
Come on.
I mean, the heel and the pack. Come on.
I went black and white
I like
today.
that. I like that. We got one thing going.
You can claim
Let's put a red lapel on there somewhere.
You can claim the win in the last week, though. That's something you do have under your belt, is a win over North Carolina. In the last week, you can have that. At least you have that.
But we still got to go there.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
Duke.
Hey.
And Notre Dame, y'all. This is
The league, man. It's
something.
insane.
Like you said, the league will keep you up at night, night in and night out. For you, what did you know about this team before the season that a lot of people clearly did in underestimating you guys?
Well, and I want to clarify, too. Everybody said, well, we were picked 8th in the ACC. But I kind of get it.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't finish well last year. We only had one starter back. I get it. And there's so much talent that I get it. And, the thing is, we still got a long way to go. It's we got, like I said, we got tonight's game obviously is big, and then 4 out of our next 5 are on the road. So it's still a lot of obstacles in the way. But yeah, I think they get along really well. It probably helps. I mean, our key subs are freshmen, and so hopefully they're a little more patient. Not much, okay, but hopefully a little more. And so again, they've gotten along great. It's been fun to be around them, and you know, again, proud of what they've been able to accomplish so far, but early.
Coach, I've compared this team in some ways to some of your great ACC title teams. Of course, you know, Elisa Cunane, she's one of the greatest ever. But it's a team that has a good amount of depth. One player can beat you on a given night, go for 20 different players in your starting lineup. What about this team reminds you, if anything, with those great teams that won ACC titles?
Well, I mean, again, nothing yet. I mean, we got to go do something.
He says,
you know,
stop,
we're off to a great start, but I agree with you. That's what everybody talks about depth. They're averaging, you know, double figures. More importantly, on a given night, any of them can score 25.
Yeah.
And so that's what's great about it. You know, one night, Zaya goes off for 30-something, and then Madison Hayes follows it up, and I think Mimi Collins is having a great year. River Baldwin, MVP of Virgin Islands, and then Sanaya. I mean, she's a game changer. And then it's great when you can bring in Zoe Brooks, Lacey Steele, whoever. They're freshmen, though, and I'm sure Muffet can understand that. There's still days where, you know, they don't quite get it, you know. They're still playing travel ball, you know, and they don't understand how critical every possession is. But we're getting there.
I don't think Zoe Brooks is playing like a freshman in a lot of games, but there are times when I can see she can sit on the bench and learn a little bit from what she's watching out there.
Yeah, and again, it's a little tougher here. I mean, again, we have a lot of veterans back. You know, Hidalgo's having an awesome year. What if Olivia Miles hadn't been out?
Yeah.
You know, who knows? But she's been thrown into that situation and obviously has taken a big-time advantage of it.
We talk a ton as we're getting ready to head into March about that double bye in the ACC tournament from a coach's perspective, and you can relate to this too, the significance of snagging one of those top 4 spots that you guys are obviously very much in the mix for.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And, you know, I would love to win a regular season ACC championship, but more importantly almost is, you know, try to finish in that top 4. It also gives you a great opportunity to host the first and second round of the NCAA tournament. And so, to me, that's what we're thriving for. And then, you know, it's too early to talk about winning it all, whatever. Right. In a couple of weeks, maybe we can say, okay, y'all, it's right here. But right now, staying in that top 4 is really, you know, the thing that stands out right now.
It is crucial, and I think the top 4 seeds in this league will end up getting top 4 in the NCAA tournament, so we'll see how that unfolds, Coach. But before we get to this game with Virginia Tech, what's a key or two for you in defending Georgia Amoore and Liz Kitley and that pick and roll action, just all that? What's a key for a win tonight for y'all?
Well, you said it. I mean, try to slow those 2 down. I mean, they killed us. You know, and this makes me feel stupid. I think they maybe scored their last 32 points against us up there. So, yeah, you know, we've worked on a lot of things. We had worked on some stuff, to be honest with you, going into the game up there. But I think at the end of the 3 quarters, they only had like 45 or 47 or whatever. And so, hey, let's don't change anything. But then we didn't score, they did, and boom, here we go. So, you know, you gotta be prepared, though, to throw everything at them. You know, everything you've been working on all year, now you try to fine-tune it a little bit the last couple of days. And again, it's been a short week for us, quick turnaround. But, yeah, you got to be prepared to do a lot of crazy things on both of them. And what's tough now, they've changed their lineup a little bit. Now they've got some people out there that are really great 3-point shooters. So if you focus too much on the big 2, they got somebody spotted up over there that can make you pay. So, but you got to pick your poison, and you know, again, both those are very poisonous.
Before we let you go, you mentioned the pregame meal. What's your pregame meal on a night like tonight?
Yeah, you know, I don't. I make a to-go plate and I eat it after the game because I've got a routine. I can't wait till 4 o'clock to eat. Are you kidding me? So, you know, game day, I usually go over here to Sammy's, the sports bar. I got an NIL deal over there.
Okay, Coach.
And so I go over there and kind of get me a little something, and then I save the big meal for later on after the game. So
I respect it. Hey, I hope that Sammy's has the Westmore meal named after you.
No, you know, they don't. But
right,
there's a couple out there. I mean, I don't even eat sushi, and there's a place that has a Westmore sushi in town.
Okay.
But my players told me about it. So, but no, you know, I keep it pretty simple. But I've got my routine where I eat each day of the week, and I don't want to mess with that.
All right. Good luck tonight, Coach.
All right,
We
thank y'all
appreciate
for
you
being
taking
here.
the
It's
time.
awesome
Thanks
having
for
you.
having us.
It's going to be a great game again.
yeah.
Kenny Brooks does an awesome job, and they got a lot of veterans that have been through it. So it's going to be a big challenge.
All right, go get that pregame meal. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
It's going to be a great one tonight here inside Reynolds Coliseum.
The best player in school history, we're talking about Grayson McCall. Grayson McCall is an all-world quarterback.
They can never stop me. No.
Over the top, he caught it! Touchdown!
They know that I'm the king, came here to conquer.
He's got a man wide open, shots, score. This offense looks good.
What a throw by Grayson McCall.
I came here, I'ma prove them wrong.
A perfect pass by Grayson McCall.
That talent you just saw on screen is coming right here to Raleigh, North Carolina next season. Grayson McCall transferring here in the offseason, I guess if you want to consider it an offseason after last season, to come play for the Wolfpack. You see all the stats here, 3-time Sun Belt Player of the Year, everything that he's racked up statistically, and he's ready to do that for the Pack and this Robert and I offense. And he joins Kelly and I now here inside Reynolds Coliseum. Grayson, good to see you.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
First of all, because we were just watching that height video, and I don't have this because I was never an athlete collegiately like you two. Is it weird to watch height videos of yourself?
It kind of is, though. It's good to see, though. I like it. It's good to see.
To music, and then people are talking so
No
nicely
doubt.
about you.
No doubt.
All right, you've been on campus. This is still new for you. You're a veteran in college and in the football world, but this is still new. How many times, be honest, have you gotten lost?
I got lost on my way here. I can't lie. I thought I was going to be a little bit late, but Ms. Annabelle helped me out. So a lot of new stuff, but a beautiful campus, obviously, and excited to be here.
Well, you were right on time, so that's good. You figured it out.
Early.
Well, yeah, you were early. He was early. That's good. So overall, we know all your success at Coastal, and the transfer portal is a big thing these days. You may have been considering you might move on and see where you're going to go. What was it about NC State that made you want to come here and play for the Pack?
Yeah, a team that's been extremely relevant in the past couple of years, a team with a solid foundation. Coach Adoran's been here for over 10 years, so one of the strongest foundations you're going to find in college football. A true family identity, a culture that is very strong, an atmosphere on game day that's extremely exciting to play in front of, and this place gives me an opportunity to showcase my skills on a bigger stage and to get around a new team and kind of show the country what I can do this last time around. So extremely grateful to be here, extremely excited to be here, and it's been a really good month so far, and I can't wait for the future.
What have you been up to over the last month? As you not only get acclimated, but obviously you jump right into football, I'm sure right into school too. So what's your schedule been looking like?
Yeah, so moved here at the beginning of January. Classes started on the 8th. And then, every day it's been training with the team, first and foremost, trying to get to know the guys, allow the guys to get to know me. Obviously, we're in the building a lot together, but doing things outside the building to kind of get to know each other. But it's been training, long training days, lifting and running with the guys, diving into the playbook a little bit, which has been fun. Really enjoyed that. So, it's been a great month, and it's been a really good offseason so far, and we're going to continue to build upon it. But it's been a really good month so far.
Well, speaking of the playbook, was Coach and I a big factor in your choice with his creativity, what he does offensively, and of course, Kevin Concepcion?
Absolutely. What we do on offense here is very creative. Coach and I's system is awesome. Just from watching it over the year and when he was at Virginia and even at Syracuse, the things that he was able to do with the quarterback and the pieces around the quarterback really excites me. It's an offense I believe I can thrive in. And showcase some new things that maybe you haven't seen on tape before. So Coach and I and Coach Roper, obviously Coach Adoran was a big deciding factor in this for me.
She mentioned KC Concepcion, and he had an incredible freshman year. I know you're busy doing your own thing when you were at Coastal. How much opportunity did you get to see what he was doing throughout the season? And now that you've gotten to meet him and get to know him and really see what he can do, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, first and foremost, unbelievable player, a true highlight reel. Obviously, we're both from the Charlotte area, so knew his name coming up, and was able to watch him last year. And wow, when you watch him, is this guy really a freshman? His understanding of the game and what he's able to do, and then I, got around him and got to know what kind of guy he was. He's a great guy to be around, one that always keeps a smile on your face, and I'm really excited, looking forward to playing with him this year.
Since you say you're from Charlotte, and you grew up in the area, did you have an allegiance? We'll get this out of the way now, just in case.
Good
did you have
question.
an allegiance to anyone growing up? It's okay. You get a free pass, and we'll get it off the table.
I wish I did.
Okay, fine.
I wish I did. It wasn't NC State, but definitely grew up watching the ACC. Love ACC basketball and definitely football as well. And just, all the teams in the state were fun for me to watch growing up.
Okay,
Good answer.
Yeah.
Politically correct.
Perfect.
I like it. Well, maybe we get a real answer.
That
off
will not
here.
be clipped for Twitter, so good job. Good job.
Well, you talk about high school. You had 2 FBS offers coming out of high school. Yeah. I know high school is a little ways away, Grayson, a long time ago, but how do you feel like that's fueled you to be able to prove that obviously now in what you did at Coastal and now at NC State? Yeah,
definitely, fueled me throughout my career at Coastal and, kind of another deciding factor in me doing this thing one more time. It's kind of the thing that created the chip on my shoulder and kind of the way I play with the attitude that I play with. I feel like I'm still out here trying to get my respect and, show the world what I'm really about on the field and off the field. So it was something that definitely fueled me, being overlooked and under-recruited. Something that stuck with me, and that's the reason I play how I do.
And I know in this transfer portal era, you were not one that was overlooked at all. You were highly coveted as a transfer, and I know NC State is lucky to have you. You did post on Instagram last year, 23, and the season was probably one of the hardest years of your life. And I'm sure there's things people at home don't know you go through behind closed doors. Why was it that way, and what did you take from it? If there's a silver lining to it at all, how you can use that in 24?
Yeah, just a tough year. Obviously started on the football field. An old coaching staff left, a new coaching staff came in, so a lot of change,
right.
which was tough, but something that I was able to grow from. And then just dealing with injuries. Obviously had a tough injury halfway through the year. Was actually picking up how I was playing and playing some really good ball those last 2 games before I got that injury, and ultimately was ruled out for the rest of the season. And the type of injury that it was, being a head injury, I had to have some of those serious conversations about if I was going to be able to play football again, and real life conversations about my health and things like that. So a really tough year. But I couldn't be more grateful for what I went through. I was able to grow so much as a person and as a football player, and I'm so glad, so blessed to be here and be healthy, and just super excited.
Yeah, that's well said there, Grayson. I appreciate that. And when it comes to doing stuff off the field, we saw you at the Manning Passing Academy as well. That's got to be such a cool experience to learn from Peyton and Eli, and of course hang out with a bunch of other really good quarterbacks. What was that like?
Yeah, so was actually fortunate enough to be there 2 summers, and just a really cool experience. Being able to be around the young guys that are there at camp, aspiring to be in my shoes and other college quarterback shoes is awesome, to just be the guy that they can look up to and kind of guide them and give them advice. And obviously Peyton and Eli, Archie are there, and a lot of other really good quarterbacks that we're able to sit down with and take knowledge from and learn from those guys, and just sit down and chop it up at dinner and things like that. It's it's an unbelievable feeling, and I've come such a long way. In high school I would have never thought that I would be able to have that opportunity. So just incredibly blessed. It's been a great journey, and actually looking forward to going back there this coming summer. So
you earned it, that's for sure. All right, if you saw some of those pictures, you noticed your hair was a little different in those pictures, a little bit longer and curly.
Right.
Tell us about the hair change. The mullet is gone. Out goes the mullet. In goes a cleaner cut, if you will.
Yeah, just came with the change that I was presented, and kind of ran with it one day. Just kind of made an impulse decision to go cut it all off, and didn't really tell anybody. I remember FaceTiming my mom when I was leaving, and she was shocked. But since I've been here, a lot of the guys are asking where is it and if it's going to come back. So that's something I'm still sitting on and thinking about right now.
I thought we were going to get a big announcement.
But we'll see. But yeah, just keeping it a little clean right now. We'll see what happens.
You know what he learned, Taylor? He learned it is so annoying to take care of hair.
Absolutely.
Long hair.
That's exactly right.
And that's why, and Grayson, I respect the mullet game. I really do. But I would never understand why a man would choose to have hair and have to deal with it. You know what I mean?
It's a lifestyle for sure.
Yeah,
shout out to Ariel who did mine today.
Yes, shout out to the wonderful ladies who actually did our hair
who
today.
did ours today. You said there's a lot of off-field stuff going on right now just to get to know your teammates. Give us some insight on what goes down. What are some things that you guys do as a group, or the guys you're hanging out with outside of?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there was a group that came in with me that transferred that are kind of in the same position as me, and so we're automatically kind of tight. We went through the visit together and going through the process together of trying to get to know guys. But my first week here, I was able to take the offensive line out and take them out to eat and just get to sit down and have those conversations. And as a team, we started to have conversations as a team about the 3 H's: hardship, highlight, and hero in life. So sometimes, it takes those tough conversations, people being vulnerable to grow closer as a team. So it's been awesome to get to know the guys and hear their stories. Some of the things these guys have been through and, their purpose and their drive is, it motivates me, and I'm just so excited to be here and be around them, and looking forward to continue to get to know these guys and the new guys coming in the summer.
I know we're excited to watch you in an NC State uniform this season. They're lucky to have you. Stay healthy. And good luck this season.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Go
Grayson.
Pack.
There you go. You always got to end with a go Pack. All right, we got plenty more coming up for you here on ACC PM. A legend here, Wolfpack Nation. Summer Erb, 99 ACC Player of the Year. She's going to sit down with us next after the break. Welcome back to ACC PM live here in Raleigh as we get ready for this top 20 showdown. There you see the legend, Kay Yao. It was Play for Kay week, and obviously this court is named after her. She's a legend here in Raleigh. Here's a little bit more about the great head coach.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
She loved practice. She wanted perfection.
Hands, keep your hands ready.
This concept of one more time. One more time. Oh, don't trust that statement. She'll let you know when it's over, but it isn't going to be one more time.
I just have the same expectations and the same standards every year. They're going to rise up to a level, and they're going to rise quickly.
Well, she knew the game, and she'd spent a lot of her life trying to learn it. I also think she spent a lot of time learning traits that made her a good leader.
Fast offense, stay wide, watch your passes, they're going for it.
You could see the relationship in the bonds that she always had with her players. And she created that atmosphere because that's the type of person she was. She showed respect, and therefore she received respect back.
She said hell one time, and we all kind of took a seat back and was like, what just happened? Like, we really disappointed her. We all bought into her. We wanted to do our best for her.
She always told me, attitude reflects altitude. That was her quote for me. She went through so much to inspire and impact so many people. Anytime I'm going through anything, I think about her a lot.
I think a lot of her quotes were not so much about basketball, they were about life. And that's what Kay Yao was about, was helping people through life and making them better and making their lives better.
A Hall of Famer, more than 700 wins, gold medal in her back pocket, and obviously everything she's done for breast cancer awareness, even much bigger than basketball. And someone you just saw in that video right there, Summer Erb, you had the pleasure of playing with 4K Yao, and we have the whole cast of characters back. When you watch that and you hear Coach and you think about it, you see former players, what comes to mind?
Just the family that we are. We talk about it all the time. We have no idea who played with who. We all think we all played together. We're just a big sisterhood, and that goes from like the 90s through now. So just the family that she raised.
I'm glad you said that because I can never remember who played with who either. So I don't feel quite so
and
bad now.
I don't know if that's memory or if that's just, we are who we are.
Yeah, I heard her speak once, and the thing that stuck with me, she said, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. And she has so many great sayings like that. What's something that you learned from her?
Probably when life kicks you, let it kick you forward. I think that's one that everybody goes to all the time. And it's so true in so many aspects. You get knocked down 100 times and you got to get back 101. And she instilled that in every one of us.
Summer, When you talk about KI and the program she built, and then you see the torch being passed to Wes Moore and what he's doing, how has that made you feel as an alum to see the program that he's taking, because the foundation was there, of course, and then taking it to this level?
It's amazing. The girls are out there playing like a family. They are having a blast. They look like they like each other, which I think is so important. You don't see it a lot. And with this team especially, it's amazing what they're doing. They built this whole thing in this little gym, and it's amazing. Like the fan support, all of it.
The chemistry is really terrific, and you can see that when they play. But the intimate confines here, and I love seeing the signs. Welcome to our small gym. As an alum, you take offense to that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are what we are, and I think the support is just amazing, and it's part of sports. You take something that somebody says and you make it your own, and I think we've done a pretty good job of that.
I know being at Carolina, playing against KI, her teams are they were go-getters. They was extremely tough. How was she at practice, prepared for big games, especially when y'all played Carolina or y'all played Duke? How was her preparation?
It was always just one more. And Talisha said it the other night, we would be out on the court forever. And we thought we had that play down, and just one more, y'all. And I was like, oh. And she'd be out there in her flip-flops and just, but she was getting after it. So she did everything she could to prepare us. The staff was amazing. And I think this staff is doing the same thing and making sure that these guys are ready to go every night.
And I wanted to apologize on behalf of all of us. We're so sorry we sat you next to the Tar Heel. That wasn't pre-planned. It's
yeah,
just
I'm sure
the way
it wasn't.
Clearly, but I was prepared.
Yes. And
Very
I can get on
neutral.
board with that.
That's perfect.
I can get on board with
So
that.
when you do walk back in here and you look around, what do you remember about taking the court back in those days? We have 2 players of the year in the ACC sitting here right now. That's pretty special. Well, what do you remember about just taking the court in those college days?
It was so much fun. I mean, every time, it's amazing. They've redone the gym, and every time I come in here, we have pieces of the gym where blood, sweat, and tears happen, where I broke my foot against Carolina, February 3rd of 2000.
Were you there?
You remember that?
Oh, yeah,
I
6
bet
seconds
so,
left. Yeah, it was a poor decision on my part. But, I touch the floor every time I come in here. Just thinking about what we were able to accomplish and how we all wanted to play for Coach and make sure that she knew we were there for her is something you never lose that feeling when you come in here.
It's big guys. They always want to shoot threes. They always want to be on the perimeter. I just saw you shooting a jumper in that film. So did Coach Young let you go out on the perimeter a bit?
I think I was 75% my senior year.
3 for 4?
3? Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'll take that.
I got that. I would bank it off the corner. I would come out here pregame, and that's where I would shoot. But I didn't mind. Well, I enjoyed banging down low. So that was my forte.
Yeah, that's where the game's won.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Some things never change, though. You're so right, Coach. It's always those players that want to shoot threes. They're 6'6", but they want to shoot a 3. It happens. Summer, when you talk about KL and you're wearing KL court shirt, and I always feel like it has to be cool. Every February, you see all these teams from around the country playing for K. And hopefully the coaches have told their players who KO is and have educated them, hopefully. But how cool is that as someone who played for her, to see the impact she's had, not just on the basketball community, but also raising money, breast cancer awareness, all that stuff. What is that like as someone who played for her?
It's amazing. It stretches the country. And this started 19 years ago with a vision that she had, and to see it grow into over 1,000 schools participating. The money that was raised the other night, I think, was over $586,000 for the fund. It's amazing the impact that she still has on everybody's lives, especially dealing with breast cancer.
On that same note, we're all watching the growth of women's basketball just in general, especially at the collegiate level, the WNBA as well, and Coach was a massive part of getting it where it is today, and your former coach was too. To see where it is, the game as a whole, as a young girl back then, how do you perceive it now?
It's crazy to me. I was just reading an article today about Caitlin Clark, and they're selling tickets courtside for the kids' tickets for $1,000 for away games. And to start off with not a whole lot of people coming in the gym, and now selling out 55,000 at a game to see women play. Like, Coach, if Coach could see this, and I know she's looking down, it's amazing how the game has grown.
I saw on Twitter for the NC State and UNC game, but also for tonight, some of the lowest tickets you could find today are like $150, somewhere in that range for a game like this. And when we talk about NC State and the crowds that they bring to this gym that is a certain size,
it's a Coliseum.
It is Reynolds Coliseum.
It is.
Come on,
but
guys,
I always tell
big.
people, no, it is, and they pack it out, and they are so loud. And we're getting prepared tonight with certain IFBs and things that we need so we can hear.
You have to.
What is it like to come back as an alum and to see the home court advantage that these fans give this team?
It is definitely a 6-man when you come in here. They've still got the meter somewhere. I think it's out there. But you can see it when you're in the stands with the noise meter. It gets loud in here. You know, Kristen Gillespie came back to play, and I was fortunate enough to sit in her shoot around and talk to her kids a little bit. And I was just trying to let them know, because nothing can prepare you for that. And it's just, you know, you don't get that everywhere. Although the game is changing, and that you're starting to see that. South Carolina, you know, it's not just UConn anymore. It's spreading throughout the entire nation, which is incredible.
All right, so when you're in here tonight, where are you sitting? Where do you sit?
I try to sit behind the bench if I can. You know, sometimes I just stand. Tonight, unfortunately, I can't make it. I have to get up too early for work. But I'll sit over here, you know, just wherever I can get.
Summer, that means you'll be watching us on TV.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what we like to hear.
Yes, ma'am. I will be here in spirit.
Do you have a favorite memory from your days here?
That's what I was. You were in my ear, in my head, and everything. Yeah, tell us.
I mean, there's so many, but being able to get Coach out of the Final Four, and seeing her run around the court like a little kid, and being able to give that gift to her after everything that she has given to everybody else, that stands out the most.
Wow. With that memory, can you just tell us one thing that she said to you that has stuck with you from like day one, that you take with you every single day?
There's so many things, but I think just believing in yourself. Because you know, my journey was a little bit different than some other people, and when I got here, I wasn't who I was at the end of my 4 years here, and it took a lot of work outside of the 90-40 to be able to get that done. And she invested in me and helped me see that I could be something more than what I came in as.
How often do you touch a basketball now?
Not as often as I'd like. Not as often as I'd like, to be honest. But when I do, I went out, I think last spring, just shooting around out in the court, and I came home and I said, you know what, I still got it a little bit. I still got it. I'm a little afraid to break something. Sure. Because I enjoy breaking my bones for some reason. But it was kind of neat to get out there and hit those threes and and just make some moves down low. So.
That's right. Rub it in with Coach.
Yeah, I got it.
You know how to shoot threes if you can make them. From an overall perspective, Summer, I know you follow NC State a lot, but you said maybe you watch the show every once in a while. So just the ACC in general, when you look at how good it is,
so
with
good.
Virginia Tech coming in here tonight, you got Notre Dame, Louisville, North Carolina, the list goes on and on. How do you see the race shaping up this year? Like, do you have other teams you've been watching?
I have no idea what the race is going to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
neither do we. Have no idea.
Yeah.
We don't know.
It's from top to bottom. This league, I think, is the best league in women's basketball, hands down. We've got 9 contenders for the tournament right now, 7 that are ranked. Like, who else can say that?
Right.
Nobody in the country. So just to be able to see the competition, and I think again it's growing throughout the nation. It's great for little girls out there just watching and shooting in their driveway and seeing where they can get to.
Hey, before we let you go, we're going to take you on a quick trip, memory lane. The internet saves everything.
Yes.
And back in 2000, when you guys were in the NCAA tournament, there was an article. It was like a Q&A. ESPN did biorhythms. And these were some of your answers, by the way. You wanted to most take on one-on-one Dennis Rodman.
Oh, God. The worm.
Did that
Come on now.
That was your answer. Did that ever come to fruition?
No.
Okay. If I wasn't a basketball player, I'd be a jockey. Any horse
Like a horse
situations
jockey
in your
or
future?
a disc jockey?
So when people see me, they walk up to me, did you play basketball?
Yeah. I knew
No,
it.
I was a jockey. Really?
That's hilarious.
No.
I like your ESPN every season pack in the NCAAs, and here we are.
Yep.
They're going back again this year. and
Yep.
Something we don't know about you. You're a big teddy bear, soft heart, love animals.
That is all still true.
Hey,
That is all still true.
20 some odd years later.
Yeah, we won't talk about that number.
Because 2000 was still 10 years ago, guys, and we're
Yeah,
just
there you
going
go.
to leave it at that. Summer, thank you so much for joining us.
Amazing. Thank you guys. And thank you for everything that you guys do.
1.9 seconds on the clock.
I think your best bet is to get the ball to Kitley somewhere in that 15-foot range.
Here we go. Hokies inbound, go to Kitley. And Virginia Tech knocks off the unbeaten Wolfpack.
Welcome back to ACCPM. Truly one of my favorite calls of all time. You
Shout
and
out Jen Hildreth.
She's still
She
somewhere
lost
screaming.
her mind, and I love it.
But that's what we love. You guys were like actually in the game and enjoying what we were seeing. Incredible basketball game. Came down to the final seconds. We're hoping we get another thriller like that here tonight. So we're going to break down the games within the games and the players you're going to have to keep an eye on. We're going to start with you, Ivory. And if we haven't said her name enough, we'll say it again. Georgia Amor. She's been incredible, and you've obviously enjoyed watching her play.
Yeah, absolutely. She's been an amazing player. Great point guard. I mean, she does a lot for the team, and these are some plays where she's wows you. And right here, she gets the ball. The great thing, she creates space, even with the dribble, the foot fake, and she'll put you to sleep to where you put your hand down, and guess what? It is go time. Let's go. Give me that three right there. She's lethal. You gotta guard her. Put a hand up at all times. And this is what I love as a point guard. Hey, big man, come give me a screen because I know what I can do. She does it, but she also reads her defender. If her defender goes under, which she does, everybody in the gym know what time it is. It's going up. Booyah. Let me get that. Okay, hold it. Okay, loving basketball. That's how we do it. And this play, where she knows she's trying to go off the screen, but she knows Sanaya is not going to let her go off the screen. So boom, she goes baseline. This is a great thing. She feels her left leg on her back. So what she does, counter, let me get that spin psycho. She's amazing. She's a great point guard, but she also can read the floor very well. 17 points a game. I mean, she leads this team, and she's out there, she's doing it. I like her. And she's small, too. Let's go. Okay?
She said it's not my size, but the size of my heart.
Yes.
As they say.
Double or nothing.
I love it.
All right, Coach, you watched her play this year. Obviously, we watched her last year really blossom into her own. What is it about her game this year that she's taken it to another level from your perspective?
She does everything well. And I think she had a pretty complete game last year, too. I love her attitude. She never lets things bother her. She just puts it in the rearview mirror and moves right on. She turns it over. She misses a shot. It doesn't matter to her. So I think her poise and her leadership have really gotten better.
Yeah.
Her assists are also up. She's leading the ACC in assists per game. It's up to 7.6, as you see there on the screen. So she's distributing it really well. She has a great balance of looking for her shot, but also getting her teammates involved, which is hard to master because sometimes you're just trying to do one or the other. And I think her confidence is what really impresses me. And that's kind of what you were saying, Coach. She feels like when she walks out there, she is the best player on the floor, even counting Liz Kitley, whatever, and she's going to go show you. And you feel like, too, if she starts the game 1 for 10, it doesn't even matter. Mm-hmm. And that's what's so unique about her.
And I think that stems from her head coach, Kenny Brooks,
Yes.
in texting her all the time and letting her know that and making sure she knows, hey, you're the best player on the floor out there, go be that. And we talked to him this week on ACCPM, and he talked about this year they're focused so much on the mental side of her game because she has to be prepared now for every scout to be focused on her. And how she's handled it has really transformed her game too. So I think that was very interesting coming from Kenny Brooks. And that she got knocked back on track.
Yeah,
when
she
got
really
banged
has
in the head
great.
against Duke.
Since the concussion, she is low-key been
She's
really
been
good.
Outstanding. All right, Coach, you can dive a little bit deeper on Georgia Amor. And then on the other side for NC State is one Sanaya Rivers, who is a ton of fun to watch.
She really is. She's a great defensive player, and that's what I love about her athletic ability. But Georgia Amor, she's got so many great skills. They both have really good skills, but the ball handling that Ivory talked about, I love her court vision. Playing with Liz Kitley really helps you because nobody wants to leave Kitley. She sees the opening on the baseline. The defender's like, I don't want to leave Kitley. I'm going to wait right here and let you score. but she can really pass the ball. You said she's leading the conference in assists. Look at the perimeter here. She's got somebody wide open all the way over here. She's got eyes in the back of her head. She sees the defense coming over. She throws it across court to a wide open three. And that is really something. She loves to get the pass, I think, sometimes more than the shot. But on the other side, Sanaya Rivers, she's a great defensive player. She gets in passing lanes. She's always somebody that's going to get a steal. Look at her take the ball behind her back to get good place on the floor. She's going to take it right to the rim, and she's great finishing with contact. I think her athletic ability is just a little bit better than Georgia's. She can just really kind of get up. She's got like a 41-inch vertical or something. I mean, she's got an incredible vertical, and she can really get up and just shoot over the defender. So very different players, both very, very important for their teams. And then, of course, they both do the same thing. They both attack the rim. They use the ball screen. They have great range to the three-point line. Georgia, I would say, gets the edge in the three-point shooting.
Guys, when's the last time you made a Venn diagram? Outside of Coach making one for
It
this
has been
exercise.
too long, but it looks like fun. And
I
Coach is,
know.
again, like she just finds a way to educate us, take us to school.
Professor,
Well, that Venn diagram, it's a great way to organize your thoughts and organize things. You know, I use it all the time, my grocery list, everything. In the Venn diagram.
Venn diagram?
For real?
Oh, God, Coach.
I
We
don't even go to the
clearly all
grocery
need
store.
to reassess.
Coach is playing chess, we're playing checkers.
She's like Instacart immediately.
Yes.
Okay, so we talked a ton about Georgia Amore, but since we just broke down Rivers, what do you love about her game?
About Sanaya Rivers?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Sanaya Rivers, her length, her speed, her ability to guard the other team's best player and shut them down is impressive. And she has a really good offensive skill set. She struggled a bit against Louisville, and there are times where she disappears a bit offensively, but she also can take over a game. And I would love to see her be more aggressive. She was really good in the first matchup against Virginia Tech, and she hit what I thought was the game winner.
Right.
That incredible layup. So the thing with NC State is, and Wes told us this at the beginning of the show, they have 6 players that can go for 30, go for 25. So it kind of depends who it is on a given night. And Sanaya is a very unselfish player where against Louisville, she knew it was Isaiah James's night. So she was able to distribute a bit more.
You know, sometimes you got to be a little selfish.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes you got to be able to say to somebody, you know, this is your time. We need you to, because things were breaking down. They had a big run for Louisville in the second half to get the game close within 6. And then she's got to be able to get a shot. And certainly there's so many opportunities for her to drive the ball, get to the free throw line. She did finish with great free throw shooting.
Yeah, and I remember like right before the season started, and she was just like, I was like, yo, you the point guard. She's like, I know. It's like real uncomfortable for her because she's not your traditional point guard. But I remember her telling me, she's like, just watch me. And she's been doing an exceptional job just leading the team, being that point guard. But like you said, I feel like she can be more selfish at times of like scoring. And she is willing to take on that challenge of guarding, you know, the best player on the other team. She's long, athletic, like you guys said. And, you know, yeah, I'm definitely excited about it for sure.
I know she was excited to see you today.
I know.
And
it's so crazy because I recruited her when I was coaching. Like, I was just like, oh my God, I feel old.
It all comes full circle. And next time I'm selfish, I'm going to say, Coach said sometimes you have to be selfish. So I'm allowed to do this.
Sometimes.
We just mentioned the name Isaiah James. She was really unconscious the other night against Louisville. She was great in that first half. What about Isaiah James, Kelly?
Isaiah James is one of the most improved players in the country. She is the ACC's most improved player. And I love so many things about her game. She can score from all 3 levels. She's really good at creating space, and she just plays in a fearless manner. They're trying to ice her here. They're trying to keep her on the right side. This crossover, you look at the space she was able to create, and then instead of continuing to attack, she pulls up from 3. It makes her so hard to guard because she's so quick, but she can also shoot the 3. So you see Daishnette Harris is way up on her because you have to respect the 3, but she's so fast, she avoids the screen. She says, no, I'm good. I'm gonna go left anyway because I have a good left hand because I'm left-handed. And then she Euros through the lane. The way she's able to maneuver her body and just the body control that she has around the rim is impressive. I'm not sure we've seen a player recently go from role player to superstar like she has on a very good team.
Yeah.
It's tremendous.
Against a really good team.
Yeah.
You know, that's against Louisville's defense, who you thought would be the better defensive team out there, but she really did a great job. And how about her defense? In that last game when she fronted the cutter
UNC game,
and didn't allow her to get out to the three-point line. That was a game-saving play.
Yeah, but just like Coach Morris said, when you have a player like that and they're on, you just got to let her play.
Get out of the way.
Get out the way, let her go do her thing. And she has definitely been great for this team. And like you say, on the offense and the defensive end, you know, sometimes you get caught up watching her probably as a player like, oh, what she's about to do next. With that crossover, was
nasty.
You should created a lot of space with that one and be able to get the shot off. And like you say, on the defensive end, I mean, great player.
It could be her tonight. It could be Mimi Collins. It could be River Baldwin, who has also been a key for them.
It
and
could.
We'll give you some stats. What to watch for tonight, presented by Liberty Mutual. We have another sponsor this week. We love to see it.
Yeah.
River Baldwin, the stats speak for themselves. NC State 19-0 with her in the lineup. Without her 1-2, she missed time. You saw her earlier on the show in some video with the boot on her ankle. She's obviously an impactful player. And that's what the numbers say.
Yeah, I think she's really impactful on both ends, but in this matchup, for me, it's defensively because you have another body on Liz Kitley. You can throw different things at her. You can guard her in different ways. The first matchup, they really just had Mimi Collins, and they had to work with it. They brought Maddie Cox off the bench, who's a freshman. So having River Baldwin, and remember, in that Florida State game, Baldwin took 5 charges.
Yes.
She also has that ability. So I think defensively, she makes a big difference. And nationally, we're not really talking about the fact that NC State, with their 5 starters healthy, has not lost. Their 2 losses were without her. So I think she really helps them defensively tonight, Coach.
Yeah, I think so too. Her presence inside is tremendous. And of course, it gives them that boost off the bench, allowing Zoe Brooks to come off the bench. I would say, you said it earlier, get River Baldwin in the ball screen and see how they're going to guard it. And I think that's something that I would do right off the bat to just see, because she doesn't have the same agility, I think, as Mimi Collins. So that's going to be key. But I think they just love having her on the floor. You know, she's kind of the glue sometimes, I think, that keeps this team together.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I'm a point guard and, you know, having to get over her screen, like she needs to set more screens for her teammates, because it's going to be hard. I mean, that's a big body right there. You got to try to fight over, however. But and on the offensive end, also get the ball down there in the post and see what she can do. See if she can get Kitley in foul trouble. Exactly. You know, they got to use it in all ways. But a concerning thing is, what if Amor come off that ball screen, attack the outside hip? Foul trouble. You know, it's a lot of concerning things.
You can always have Mimi Collins guarding Kitley and River Baldwin doubling and being help side, and then Collins is in the ball screen. This NC State team is really used to the Virginia Tech ball screen. So I think Westmore is going to have a few things up his sleeve with how they're going to guard it. Because it's truly one of the hardest assignments in women's basketball right now. What do you do with Amor and Kitley in the ball screen?
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
You go in with plan A, and you hope you don't have to go all the way to Z. You know, you're going to try everything.
But you will come prepared. It's going to be a great chess match here tonight. Big thank you to Liberty Mutual for that what to watch for. Coming up tonight, of course, Nothing But Net at 10 o'clock. Kelsey Riggs will join the fold.
Is Kelsey coming?
She's coming.
Okay, all right.
Hopefully she's bringing the Starbucks too. We're waiting on that as well. Your final thoughts on the one that we're getting ready to see here. 2 minutes. So take your time, Kelly. When you're thinking of this matchup here tonight, no, you got. Do you want to make picks?
Yes, let's make some
picks.
Let's
go picks. Kelly, you start.
All right, ladies, let's make some picks. Okay, I think this game's gonna be great. I think you have to watch it. The first one, had the pleasure of being there, and it was epic. These teams know each other really well, which makes for really fun February conference matchups. You have somehow NC State's got to find a way to slow down the pick and roll. That's the huge thing for Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech also, they're 15-1 this year when they shoot over 41% from 3. If they don't make threes in this game, that's going to be an issue. NC State should be able to capitalize. But I think NC State just needs their depth to play well. They need everyone to give them 10 or 12, and they need to shoot the 3 well as well. Sure, are we giving a pick?
With that being said,
I'll give my pick. I think NC State's going to win. I think NC State is so good at home. I think this environment's going to be electric. And having called the game in Blacksburg, the environment in Blacksburg took Virginia Tech over the edge. So I think it will do the same here tonight for NC State.
I agree. I'm going with the home team as well. I think both teams have to shoot well from the three-point line. You saw Zia James take over the last game, but she wasn't able to do, and nobody else really could help her. And that was a big problem. They shoot a lot of threes. They've really got to figure out a way, get to the free throw line and see. Kitley's going to be tough inside, though.
Hey, both teams got to defend. They got to shoot the 3, and they got to be able to tolerate this crowd. So you got NC State. You know I'm always the oddball. Let's go, Virginia Tech. I got Virginia Tech.
The players are starting to trickle in from NC State, so keep it quiet.
I got Virginia Tech.
I'm hoping for another buzzer beater. I mean, that's what we had the last time, and I think it's very possible we have that again.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll go with the home team. You know, I'm not going to bend. They've been good at home. So is Virginia Tech on their home floor. So I'm going to go with the safe pick. And you're going to be the Lone Ranger over there. Ivory, but that's okay. I like the confidence in your pick. Appreciate you ladies for joining me today on ACCPM.
You're awesome, Taylor.
It was an awesome show. Nothing but net. The ladies will have you covered all night for this big showdown. But we'll send it over to the game between Virginia and Boston College. Have a good night, everybody.
For the
witness greatness in the making.
Blacksburg, Virginia is hoop heaven. History for the Hokies.
I'm ready for war. I said I'm ready for more. You can't stop me. You can't stop me.
Nia Rivers with the drives again. Kelly is good.
They wanna go to war. They come and bring it on.
Knocks off the unbeaten Wolfpack.
You can't stop me.
Isaiah James has joined the 30-point club.
They wanna go to war. They come and bring it on.
Georgia Amore picks the pocket, and Amore lays it up and in.
Rivers is going to make them explode with the steal and the finish.
They come and bring it on. I'ma give it my all. You can't stop me.
It was a blockbuster thriller, so good the first time we said, hey, we got to be here for the second one. Liz Kitley absolutely went off in that game on January 7th. Of course, you saw that final last-second shot to beat NC State. What's going to happen here at Reynolds, though, where the Wolfpack are undefeated? We will find out. And Kelly, Liz Kitley and Georgia Amore have a lot to do with what happens tonight.
They are one of the best duos in the entire country, guys. There's no doubt about that. When they get in the pick and roll, it is absolutely lethal. And they're the best at this in the country, I think, in a pick and roll when it comes to a guard and a big. So they can do so many things off of it. This first instance, Amore is going to find Liz Kitley, and Kitley is such a good shooter. You see the post player hedging for a second. That leaves Kitley open, and she knocks it down. The best shooting post player in the country. I don't think it's even close. A second situation here. They get the ball back to Amore. It's another pick and roll, but this time Virginia brings a trap. Well, easy enough. Amore is going to pass out of it and find Kitley again. So that's another way you can try to cover it. This time, it didn't work. Kitley catches it, and again, the best shooting post player in the nation knocks it down. Here's a third instance, not a pick and roll, but it just shows how much they look for each other and they find each other, and they just play in that two-man game. You see the three other Hokies outside of the three-point line, letting Liz and Georgia have space to work. Liz does a great job of getting low position, and Georgia is looking for her so quickly, doesn't waste any time, gets the ball into Liz, and she scores. Look at these numbers, guys. The most assists by a score-assist duo, meaning Amore has assisted to Kitley 67 times this year, by far the most in the ACC.
What a deadly duo. You just don't know how to guard him in that pick and roll. And will you double team Kitley if she's on the block?
Ivory, this time NC State is going to have River Baldwin, and when she's in the lineup, they're undefeated. They're undefeated at home. How does that change the game tonight?
It changed the game big. I mean, she's a big part of the team and what they're doing. Get her the ball, but also, put her in the pick and roll, let her do her thing as well. So down in the post is going to be big for NC State.
They might put Mimi Collins on Liz Kitley, so have her in the pick and roll and have Baldwin as kind of a secondary defender to watch where Kitley goes and almost spy her on that pick and roll.
Yeah, that'd be a great double team, though, when you get the two bigs double teaming Kitley.
We are excited for this matchup. We'll be back with you after this game if there is time before this one tips off.
You are watching ACC Women's Basketball presented by Ally. And tonight we come to you from, as usual, a sold-out Reynolds Coliseum, where Virginia Tech is in town to take on NC State. The Hokies beat them in a last-second shot when they played in Blacksburg about a month ago. And we welcome you in, Tam Ward, along with Stephanie White, who was the Wade Trophy winner when she played at Purdue. And I know as soon as I saw we had this game on our schedule, I got excited.
So excited. Two of the premier programs in the country, two evenly matched teams, and it came down to the wire, as you mentioned. Hope it's like that tonight.
Yeah, we certainly do, and we have a treat, and we got some premier guard play.
Absolutely. It's all about the guards here tonight. Georgia Amore, last three games has been spectacular, putting her team on her shoulders, and Isaiah James can be explosive, can score in bunches. She was huge in that home win against Louisville.
NC State beating Louisville on Monday. Before that, they took care of North Carolina. They are trying to beat their third straight ranked team, and they have never done that in their women's basketball history. Poulani Spurlock-Welsh, who just said hello to you. Carla Fountain, Rod Creech, our officials tonight. And there's Kenny Brooks. Boy, what a job he has done now in his 8th year at Virginia Tech. Last year, they won their first ACC tournament title ever and took them all the way to the Final Four. And the man that Kenny calls Wesley, Wes Moore, in his 11th year, dominated in the ACC before Virginia Tech was able to win the tournament last year. The student section is rocking. Not a ticket to be had. Virginia Tech has won 5 straight games overall, and Virginia Tech is the last team to beat NC State in this building. It happened just over 1 calendar year ago. Liz Kitley and Sanaya Rivers jumping up, and Rivers will have the ball in her hands first for NC State.
I think it's going to be important for NC State to establish an attack mode. Yes, guards off the bounce right away. Isaiah James for 2.
Isaiah James is on quite a tear in her last 5 games, averaging over 20 points per game. There's the Virginia Tech starting lineup. Amore, one of the best point guards in the country. Matilda Eck, one of their best 3-point shooters. The Michigan State transfer, Olivia Summiel, has been in the starting lineup for the last half dozen games or so, and that is unstoppable for Kitley.
You know it's coming. River Baldwin did a good job of taking up the space of Liz Kitley, and she makes it anyway.
And there is the starting lineup for NC State. A lot of turnover from last year. River Baldwin did not, by the way, play in the first matchup. She was out with the hurt ankle. Another attack at the basket, this time by Madison Hayes, failed to go. Here's Amore to her buddy Kitley.
So efficient. Georgia Amore and Liz Kitley know exactly where one another are going to be, putting each other in positions to be successful.
And Rivers looking back at Coach Moore to get some instruction.
Georgia Amore calling out the play, making sure her teammates know.
Well, Isaiah James got off to a great start the other day against Louisville. She had 28 points in that and 5 quick ones here tonight.
She's been hot. If you're going to switch that on-ball screen, you've got to make sure you're switching up the line, not allowing space and time for that shot.
Kitley over the outstretched hand of River Baldwin, and she has all 6. Right now it's Elizabeth Kitley 6, Isaiah James 5.
Well, defensively, you're going to see a lot of different coverages from both teams. Virginia Tech going to switch their big guards, and Isaiah James continues to go to work.
He is not missing anything. Isaiah James and Sanaya Rivers, the 2 guards, of major concern for Ketty Brooks. He said they're 2 of the most athletic guards in the country. Kayla King has not been shooting the ball well from distance. Amore has. That one cups out, however. Rebound for Hayes. Also wanting to slow down NC State's transition. Mimi Collins having a really good year. That one is off the mark. Eck quickly gets it over to Amore, who already has 2 assists. Right back to Eck. Back rim. Collins comes up with the board. NC State, a very good rebounding team, 9th in the nation in that category. Taylor King drawing the defensive assignment on James. Now the switch.
Yeah, you're going to see the switch in the guard-to-guard action. Really 2 through 4, you're going to see that switching. Good job, good hands by Georgia Amore.
Amore forcing the turnover.
You're going to see the steady dose of this 2-man all night long. Good hands. I love the length of Sanaya Rivers on Georgia Amore and going coast to coast.
Sanaya Rivers did not hit a field goal against Louisville, 0 for 5, and Coach Moore would like to see her do more of that, attack the basket.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think the Virginia Tech guards can contain Sanaya Rivers and Isaiah James off the bounce. They've got to continue to attack.
Matilda Eck with a 3. She had 4 threes in their win on Sunday at North Carolina, a game that had to go into overtime. Amore kind of took over in the 4th quarter and overtime to win in Chapel Hill. Baldwin working against Kitley, who fouled it.
This is what River Baldwin gives you, right? She gives you that post presence. You can play on the interior. She forces rotations, puts some pressure defensively on Liz Kitley.
Baldwin, an 88% free throw shooter. As we take a look at the ACC standings, a lot on the line. Right now, Virginia Tech is in first place by themselves, stayed a half game behind in second. So Tech trying to get some distance tonight, but a tough task indeed, taking on NC State in their home building. Amoore around the Kitley screen. Now, she's somehow slithered by everybody.
She's just so crafty. So crafty. She understands where she is. She has great body control. She's poised with the ball, doesn't get rushed.
Played all 45 minutes in that overtime win against Carolina. And that her second straight double-double. Foul now against NC State. It's on Baldwin, so she picks up her first. Baldwin has a tendency to get into foul trouble, particularly since coming back from the hurt ankle, in part because she just isn't moving as well.
Well, in that situation, Wes Moore just hollering at her to get back in transition. No need to foul 94 feet away from the rim.
How about Kitley coming out for Strack? Claire Strack, number 13, is a true freshman from Buffalo who has given Tech some really good minutes. Amoore's runner won't go. Collins comes up with another board. But Kitley substituted quite quickly. She'll get some extra rest when we hit the 5-minute timeout. Thievery from Amoore. Samuel to Strack. Knocked out by Collins.
And both Samuel and Strack miss Kayla King for a wide open three. And that's what she's going to need. She's going to need to get some wide open looks early in the ball game. See one go through the net, but these are two guards we talked about. Georgia Amoore getting to the rim. Just a little pass fake allows her to maneuver around, and Isaiah James stays hot.
ACC women's basketball is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. And what a night it was here on Monday. It was the annual Play for K night, a big win against Louisville. And look at that check, over $538,000 raised on Monday's Play for K game. That's over $500,000.
Absolutely.
That's a new record.
Incredible job. And certainly watching that game, you can just feel the emotion, feel the support. Certainly must have been incredible being here.
Yeah, it was great. Kay Yao was the head coach here for 34 years. And left quite a legacy as a human being and as a basketball coach. So now Kitley and Strack playing together for Kenny Brooks.
It's something that Kenny Brooks told us earlier in the season. He wants to play them more together, thinks they can complement one another on the floor.
Isaiah James, oh my.
Oh, that's just sick, Pam, just sick.
Long two, she already has 9 points.
And she sets you up because she goes to the rim early, right? She can get to the rim. She's still going to her left hand, stays on balance, gathers, and finishes.
Strack to Kitley. There's that combination that we just spoke about. Kitley trying to catch up now with James. She has 8 points. Working against River Baldwin on this end. James that time misfired. Here's Amoore out of the gate. Slashing in, nice little shovel pass to Strack. Had it knocked out of bounds, but boy, Amoore, what a great point guard. And she has now gone into the top 10 all-time in assists in the Atlantic Coast Conference, and she has passed our own, yes, she's in the building, Ivory Latta, you're now number 11.
Ivory must be hiding out right now because we can't find her, but pushed out of the top 10, Ivory.
Latta, such a great player for North Carolina, and it's so great as Strack goes to the line. We have the nothing but net crew here.
I know, how awesome is that? This environment, this game has been circled on a lot of our calendars for a long time, so what an opportunity to share this with them.
We were thrilled when we heard they were coming. They're on site. You will hear from them at halftime. Strack hit both free throws after being fouled by Rivers. Virginia Tech bounces on top. And now Zoe Brooks in the headband, not wearing goggles for the last couple of games because she's now wearing contact lenses, so the headband is back without the goggles. Collins spins out. Well, Brooks is a great freshman who is on a nice little roll herself in the last couple of games. Wenzel in, number 1 for Virginia Tech. Backup point to Amore, and playing with her now.
I like this, the two-man game. We're going to put River Baldwin in it. Look to exploit. See the full rotation by Mimi Collins.
Cross court, back to King. She's so gun-shy with that 3. That's got to be like a 400-pound weight off Kayla's shoulders.
Absolutely, but you're right. You can't be gun-shy in that situation. I mean, the ball touched every player's hands for the Hokies, and that extra pass, got to shoot it.
King, as James hits another one off the back rim. Coming into this game in her last 4, Kayla King was only 25% from 3, and that's her bread and butter. Kitley, great look over to Strack. This Kitley can pass too. It's an 8-0 run.
This is a team that leads the league in assists. They always have a high assist-to-made field goal ratio.
They lead the league both in assists and assist-to-turnover ratio as Hayes is fouled on her way to the rim.
When it starts in the two-man game, you're going to see this all night long. And Georgia Amore able to get it across. Kitley, great skip pass, extra pass. That has to be automatic. That is an automatic shot. That's a no passing zone.
Hayes' first point. She's coming off a 12-point game against Louisville in which she hit 4 threes.
She had a great game the last time these two teams met. Had 21, was 4 or 5 from the three-point line, 9 rebounds.
That was a game that NC State led for all but a minute and a half. And it was that crucial minute
and a half. Yes, it was a crucial minute and a half.
Kitley hitting the game-winning shot. Off an inbounds. Liz working on Baldwin. Tough off glass.
I'm not sure I've seen Liz Kitley go over the left shoulder. That's a tough move. She knows that the double team, or at least a stunt, is going to come.
Kitley electing to come back and use her final year of eligibility, the COVID year, if you will. Zoe Brooks got a block by Strack from behind. Strack averaging a block a game.
Well, typically you play the scouting report, right? You know, Liz Kitley wants to come back over the right shoulder. This time she goes over the left and uses the glass.
Amore found a little bit of daylight. Here's Brooks now. Bothered a little bit by Amore.
And if you're NC State, you can't be happy with just taking contested jump shots on the perimeter. I don't think the Hokies can contain them off the bounce. That's a really good take. You get a rotation, an opportunity for a rebound.
Officials point Virginia Tech's way. Westmore looks on. He has been haunted by that inbounds play since it happened back in January. Coaches can lose sleep over things like that, right?
Yeah, they absolutely can. What could we have done differently? What would I change? Why didn't I do this?
Kitley, fade away. Ticks off the rim. Hayes quickly gets it over to Brooks. Now running the point with Rivers on the bench. Hayes driving on Eck. More contact, another foul.
It's a great take by Madison Hayes. Right away, you get the rip and go from the top of the key.
Eck called for the personal foul. That is her first. Now, Madison Hayes, who is in her 3rd year at NC State. She was all freshman in her one and only year at Mississippi State, all freshman SEC. Every Thursday, a women's basketball doubleheader comes your way on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Next week, this NC State team takes on Notre Dame at 6 Eastern, and then Liz Kitley, Georgia Amore, and Virginia Tech will be hosting Duke. And Notre Dame had a tough one tonight as they lost on the road to Louisville, and Hannah Hidalgo had 30 points, but only 1 assist. Her teammates weren't making a lot of shots.
11% from the three-point line for the Irish. 2 of 18, Louisville 7 of 18. It's hard when you're trying to trade 2s and 3s.
Well, Hidalgo has set a new ACC record for most Freshman of the Week awards, beating Tanaya Watson just from last year. So Hidalgo is special, but it's a good bounce-back win for Louisville, who had a tough night here on Monday.
Had a tough first half. The second half really battled, and it's the first half playing NC State at home. NC State in that second quarter got going from the three-point line.
Now we'll see Rivers hold it as long as she can in the waning seconds of the quarter.
And I like this, going zone. So you recognize right away the ISO. Sanaya Rivers said, it doesn't matter. I can still elevate.
Rivers with her second bucket of the half. And we have a 2-point ball game after the first.
I think Sanaya Rivers has to continue to be aggressive offensively. She elevates over defenders. She makes it look easy, Pam.
Let's go back to January 7th. Sanaya Rivers in what I think most people thought was the game winner in Blacksburg with just about 2 seconds left, but then this inbounds play, Kayla King perfect to Liz Kitley, the screen set by Amor, and Tech came away with the win.
Just outstanding execution, time and score, and I remember after the game, Liz Kitley in the press conference talking about, we have practiced that play ever since I've been here, and this is the first time that we've used it. So they've gone through end-of-game situations. They were calm under pressure, perfect pass, terrific finish.
Fourth quarter, NC State led by 11. Tech went on a 12-0 run, during which time NC State missed 11 straight shots, and it set up that miracle and a beautifully executed play to win it. Tech has won 3 straight in this series. Eck gets her own miss and comes out of the pack. Baker wide left, and here comes Sanaya Rivers. This must be terrifying for an opponent.
Getting her downhill, yes.
Oh.
Pam, Sanaya Rivers that can get to the rim and that can pull up on a dime just like that. She needs to show up every day for this team. Consistency, hunt shots. I know she's an unselfish player. I know she wants to get everybody else involved, but for this team to make a deep run, she's got to do that more often.
Did not score a single field goal in that win against Louisville. 0 for 5 from the floor. Did hit 7 free throws, but has come out aggressive tonight.
And you see Virginia Tech changing up their defense, going to the zone, trying to contain the drive a little bit more.
Collins popped out. Good box out by Samuel. Allowed Eck to get the rebound. Amor dribbles through. Kitley able to get the rebound, and then once, twice, blocked the second time. And Samuel grabs it. Possession arrow points NC State's way.
Sanaya Rivers is so dangerous when she's attacking in the open floor because she can get by you, but she can also do this. Stop on a dime, elevate, find the bottom of the net.
Off to a terrific start. Missed 3 games in December with a bad back. Was the player of the year, the 6th player of the year, I should say, in the ACC last year, and now a starter. Rivers, boy, that's way too tall. Chance and pass. 3rd turnover for State. Virginia Tech had no turnovers in the first quarter, but a couple here. Correct that, just 2 turnovers in the first quarter. So both teams playing very cleanly so far. Kayla King coming back in for Karis Baker, one of 5 true freshmen on this Virginia Tech team. NC State also has 5. That's a lot, especially for this day and age of transfer portal.
It really is. And both of these programs have a lot of young players who contribute for them, but veteran players who carry the load.
And that's really the balance, right? You've coached both in the collegiate and WNBA Coach of the Year right here, but balancing the youth with the experience.
It is, and having, Wes Moore talked to us last game about the fact that he likes going with his veterans, right? He likes going with his veterans, but you have to be able to develop the young talent. These veterans were once that young talent, and now they've come together. This has been a surprise team in the country to me, but one of those young players who's continuing to learn how to be consistent is Zoe Brooks, and she is instant offense off the bench.
We have already had 5 ties and 6 league changes. Woo! Here's Sanaya Rivers. Amor contests, but it's not in time.
That's that length, and that's those quick hands, putting length and size on Georgia Amor, getting a hand on it.
And the crowd at Reynolds enjoying themselves. Kitley gets it into Sumiel. King, her second 3 of the night.
She can't hesitate. You know, that was no hesitation, perfect execution, great kick out. Can you imagine if you're the Virginia Tech Hokies and Kayla King starts to find it from the 3-point line? Watch out.
Yeah, that would really be a difference maker. Kitley with the block. She's very good at blocking. Averaging over 2 per game, second best in the league.
I mean, this is just textbook right here. And Kayla King, no hesitation, lets it fly. You know, and it's easy for us, Pam, to look at Kayla King's numbers and be like, what's wrong? Like, why are they down? Well, you think about what this team lost. And Taylor Soule and Kayana Traylor, 2 players who can get downhill, who can create off the bounce, who can then spray to open threes, who can also defend the best perimeter players. And now Kayla King has to do that on the defensive end. Isn't getting a lot of touches in rhythm offensively.
That one was off the mark. Brooks, aggressive. Amor looked like she got a hand on it. Ball stays with NC State. Maddie Cox, a true freshman from Flower Mound, Texas, coming into the game for Madison Hayes, Lauren Cox's little sister. So terrific at Baylor, now playing overseas. James working on Sumiel, got her off balance.
I know you got to pick your poison, and if you're picking your poison, you want Isaiah James shooting step-back threes, but when she's hot, you got to find different ways to be disruptive in the 2-man.
Amor, long 3, and the pose. Amor is one of those players that always seems like when it's going against the grain, when things are going against Virginia Tech, she always seems to do things like that.
She's a run stopper. She's not afraid of the moment. You'll see some of her biggest impacts in the 4th quarter and in overtimes. But here, this is a switch, and it's just tough, right? Like, you got to play her for off the bounce, and terrific space, and then Amor, the screen, and a little pop back, has the time, has the space. And the Hokies coming back in this zone. You cannot go under. Cannot go under Isaiah James.
He is not missing. He's already got 15.
That's a heads-up play by Wes Moore to continue to utilize the on-ball screen even against the zone.
Kitley's been quiet for a while. Brooks forcing the action. James this time with the look away. Kitley gets the rare James miss. Kitley has not scored in the 2nd quarter after getting 10 in the 1st. Eck hits the 3. That's her 2nd 3.
And such good execution. You know, their spacing is nearly perfect. The timing of the cuts to draw secondary and 3rd defenders, and then finding the open player.
They rely on the 3 a lot. Collins, that was a tough shot that was left short. So NC State up 31-30.
Isaiah James has been electric. He can't go under. She's hot from the 3-point line, and the Matilda Eck answers on the other end. Wolfpack by 1.
Isaiah James continues her torrid pace. She already has 15 points, and it's just a progression. Now a junior, she's really improved since her freshman year.
She certainly has, and it's been more opportunity. You see the freshman numbers, sophomore numbers, just under 7 points per game, and has had a breakout year. She gets an opportunity. She's in the starting lineup. She came into the starting lineup after Virginia Tech last year on the road, but averaging over 15 points a ball game. It's a tribute to her putting in the work, continuing to trust in the process and trust in this system and be ready when her number is called.
Averaging over 20 points a game in her last 5 and is well on her way to busting that tonight. Kitley is 0 for 3 from the floor in this quarter. Amor, that was through a lot of traffic and didn't get in.
I thought she missed an opportunity to shoot a pull-up or a runner right there.
Terry Brooks over in the other corner. Baldwin not even looking to score. Here's James. A little bit of room with the miss. The screen from Kitley gets it right back to Liz, wide open, and she usually hits those in her sleep. Kitley 53% from the floor for the season. Collins.
I'm not sure that's the shot that Westmore wants. You get an opportunity to extend the lead, make them work a little bit on the defensive end.
I see Strapp, not a threat to score from out there. Eck. Baldwin doing a good job being physical with Kitley. Strapp fumbles it a bit. King for 3. In and out. Kitley and Collins. Strapp. Everybody going for the ball. Amor left open for a 3. Strapp got another offensive board.
Continuing to earn more time and earn trust, and they're going to make one of them. Cannot give the Hokies that many opportunities.
They had 4 shots on that trip. They averaged 9.5 made threes per game. That is best in the conference. Taylor King now with 3 threes on the night. Collins, nope. Kitley with another rebound.
That was a good look. Playing in the short corner against the zone. It's a good look for Mimi Collins.
Amor gets it over to Strapp, who nails the baseline jumper.
It's really just a clinic offensively sometimes when you're watching Virginia Tech.
Pretty to watch when they're rolling.
It really is. The way they move the ball, the timing of their passes, they're not holding on to it for too long. They know what the next action is.
Rivers with a good look at a 3. Amor able to sneak in and get the rebound with Baldwin and Kitley tying each other up. Rivers sticking with Amor. Kitley, that's about the extent of her range. She was 2 of 5 from 3 on this season. That one was a long 2 attempt. As we go inside a minute, Virginia Tech on an 8-0 run. State has missed its last 6 shots. King being too physical on James.
But I like the idea right there, Taylor King, to get on the left hand, force you to come back to the right, but a good job of staying persistence by Isaiah James.
James is a lefty. What a game so far for her. 15 points, including 3 threes. So Baldwin goes out. Lacey Steele, another true freshman, coming in for State. And King drawing that assignment. There's another whistle. And another foul on Virginia Tech. Kenny Brooks wanted a tie-up. But instead it's the second foul in the last few seconds against King. She comes out. Carly Wenzel comes in. King out, so she does not pick up her third before the break. James up and under. How many different ways can you score?
Come on, Pam. Come on. That looked like the Hail Mary at the end of the play. Didn't know what to do, and she made it work.
What an amazing athlete. Kitley now being guarded by Collins with Baldwin out of the game. Then the double comes. Kitley able to somehow get around it and score. She has really good footwork.
She does, and I think that's good D by Mimi Collins. Again, scouting important defense. You want to take away the right shoulder, make her do something that she's not comfortable with, and Liz Kitley just shows that she does have more in the arsenal.
That was Kitley's first made field goal of the quarter.
And sometimes that's frustrating as players when that happens. But as coaches, those are the ones that you'll live with, right? Those are the ones that they're not used to shooting.
It was a brief delay. It was a delay of game warning on Kitley. Tech has 2 fouls to give. Hayes step back over Amor. Long rebound to Georgia as time expires. Virginia Tech takes a 37-33 lead into the locker room. NC State missed 6 of its last 7 shots as the Hokies now lead it. And we have in the house,
yes,
Kelsey Riggs, Kelly Gramlich, Muffet McGraw, and Ivory Latta right here. And they will be commandeering our halftime as Virginia Tech behind Georgia Amor lead by 4 at the break. St. James having a good half as well.
Welcome into this ACC Network Halftime Report, coming to you live from Reynolds Coliseum alongside our Ladies Night crew, Ivory Latta, Kelly Gramlich, and our Hall of Famer, Coach Muffet McGraw, Kelsey Riggs with you. And we will be with you for an hour long right here live after this game. An incredible top 20 showdown that delivered last time, and you guys, it has delivered so far in the first half. Coach, it's been kind of a game of runs, and different parts of the game tell that story. But for Virginia Tech to be in the lead, a lot of it has to do with some of these threes we've seen.
Well, Kitley has really started them off and played really well, and then they started hitting threes. Kayla King came out, shot the ball well. Georgia Amor, they left her open a couple of times. You can't do that.
Well, Kayla King was huge in this first half. They were rotating, so worried about the ball screen, get the ball to the post, and then they reversed it, and Kayla King was open, and she knocked those down and thought that was huge for Virginia Tech, Ivory. Kitley was really good in the first quarter, struggled a bit in the second quarter, but Kayla King was able to keep Virginia Tech in the game and now with the lead.
And absolutely. It's like Virginia Tech had practiced this. They knew exactly what NC State was going to do. They was going to rotate. So when you rotate, you find the open person, and then the weak side is open. Kayla King and Eck, they're coming up big right now, knocking threes down.
They've knocked down 6 threes in the first half. Kitley, as you mentioned, came out strong in the first quarter. She's got 12, but Ivory's jaw was like on the ground for a lot of this half because of Isaiah James. What do you like about what she's doing?
She came out aggressive, and I said she's going to come out, she's going to be real aggressive. I mean, her crossover, the step back, hold up, I got heels on. And I'm just like, wow, she is amazing, and she continues to attack the basket.
She does. I talked to her before the game. I saw her quickly after I beat Ivory and Horse, and I said, Isaiah, you're playing so well. Looking forward to watching you tonight. She goes, it's going to be fun. And she just gave me that look, and I thought, oh no, Isaiah James is about to go off. The way she creates space, yes. Ivory, her 3-ball with her quick first step, and just her confidence right now, Coach.
She's got time to sip a cup of coffee. She's so open out there after the step back, and she's knocking them down.
She really has knocked them down. She's looked so good in the first half. 17 points for her right now, Virginia Tech with a point lead. Kelly, what's the key for whoever's able to pull out and separate themselves in the second half?
Well, I think someone else has to step up and help Isaiah James. Yes. It has been all Isaiah James. She has 17 points for NC State. Sanaya Rivers has had some moments. We haven't seen much from Hayes and Collins and Baldwin or Zoe Brooks. Yeah. So someone else has to step up for NC State. I think you're feeling good if you're Virginia Tech because Amor hasn't even played that well. Kitley missed some shots in the second quarter. They just need to keep doing what they're doing.
Nobody in foul trouble, so they have that going for them too. And I think the rotation has been pretty good for NC State. I like the hard hedge on the ball screen. They're moving over. They just got to get to that weak side for the three-point shooter.
It came down to the wire, down to the buzzer last time when these two teams played. Can't wait to see how this one ends. Meanwhile, we had another top 15 matchup in the ACC tonight. This one was over on ESPN. Notre Dame, number 12 in the country, taking on number 15 Louisville in a tough road environment. The Cards undefeated at home, and early on, a lot of good stuff, Kelly, from Nyla Harris.
Nyla Harris was the best player for Louisville in this game, was really consistent, rebounded it really well inside.
Louisville built a big lead, but Notre Dame down 3. KK Bransford to Hannah Hidalgo. So Irish go into the half only down by 1. That takes us to the third. It's a 3-point game. Hidalgo, coach.
I'll tell you, Louisville really turned the ball over 21 times, but Notre Dame didn't capitalize enough. Hannah Hidalgo set the record for steals.
That was the one that did it right there. Notre Dame freshman scoring record. Impressive stuff for her. Then Jada Curry from the corner, Ivory.
Yeah, that was one of her first threes right there. She got the team going, and she was fired up on that three.
Louisville trying to add a little more to it, pick up the loose ball, stolen from Hidalgo, and then Nyla Harris cashing in on the other end. That's a 10-point lead, but Kelly, the Irish kept coming back.
Ooh. They made this game closer than I thought it would be, and it was because of Hannah Hidalgo's in and outs. I mean, geez, what are you supposed to do?
A little bit more of Hannah Hidalgo. Okay, why not? Give me another steal, and Ivory the basket.
Hey, look, man, that girl is amazing. She's just out there stealing all the balls.
Just a casual 30-burger tonight.
Also sets the ACC freshman record for steals. Next Louisville possession. Cards trying to do what they can to pull away. They go inside, and then they go outside. Jada Curry, the three-pointer. Louisville goes on to win it 73-66. It looked like this game may get away from them at some points because Louisville kept pulling out to such a big lead. But Kelly, Nyla was a big part of what they were able to do and the success that they found tonight.
She was. I thought Louisville controlled this whole game, really. They made the threes that I knew they needed to make, Coach. But beyond that, they rebounded it really well. They didn't let any of Notre Dame's posts get going. I thought Nyla Harris was great on both ends of the floor. And when Westbeld struggles, Notre Dame struggles. She got in foul trouble early and just wasn't the same after that.
Yeah, she's got to really be on the floor for them to be successful. Sanaya Citra, she's also, Sonia Citra, she's really got to play well every game. The big three. Tonight it was the big one.
Yeah, you're right. The big one that had the 30-piece out there playing hard. But like you said, everybody else had to step up. Sometimes as a player, when you get those early fouls, mentally, that can probably take you out of the game. But in a situation like this, playing against Louisville, a great defensive team, everybody has to be on their P's and Q's.
All right, so this is the first time that these two teams have met this year. They'll also conclude the regular season with another meeting. We'll see what happens in that rematch. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on around the ACC, and Georgia Tech giving number 23 Syracuse all they can handle. A tight one comes right down to the wire. Some good defense coming up, and Toni Morgan doing what she can to come down with it. Jump ball, it's Syracuse ball right now with, it looks like, about 14 seconds left. So we'll keep you posted on how that one ends tonight. Great game between Clemson and Miami as well. That one went to overtime. Tigers had a shot to tie it in overtime. They weren't able to get that off the way they would have liked. Florida State gets the win. Duke also handles Wake Forest, and Virginia takes care of Boston College. Got much more coming for you than to just show you the scores. We got a full hour-long show tonight, live from Reynolds. After the conclusion of this game, how about Liz Kitley getting what she wants on the inside? It's Virginia Tech with a 4-point lead over NC State at the break.
You are watching ACC Women's Basketball presented by Allied. About to start the second half here. It's sold out Reynolds Coliseum. Pam Ward along with Stephanie White, and boy, Liz Kitley, 10 points in the first half, on her way to perhaps setting another ACC record tonight. And Georgia Amore doing some good work as well.
Yeah, absolutely. She hasn't quite gotten going offensively scoring the basketball, but she's been a master facilitator. 5 of their 10 assists, and she's gotten the ball to the people who need it, and that has been Liz Kitley mostly, finding her, Matilda Eck getting a couple of three-point shots as well. But this two-man game with Liz Kitley and Georgia Amore, it is just so tough to defend. She makes the right plays, she makes the right reads, she doesn't force it. 10 assists on 15 made field goals for the Hokies.
And on the other side of the basketball, Isaiah James, has been amazing. And you see Virginia Tech ending on that 10-2 run And how about NC State with 1 assist in the entire first half?
Well, they've done a lot of it off the bounce. Off the bounce, attacking the rim, getting to the free throw line, getting some layups, or creating their own shots. But that's one of the areas I think they can continue to get better, sharing the basketball, particularly in the quarter-court.
Isaiah James doing most of the work. She has 3 threes, but her team and Westmore down by 4. Second time these two teams have played. As you take a look at the standings, a lot on the line as we enter the last 4 weeks of this season. Virginia Tech with a win would be clear and in first place all by themselves in the AC if they win, and would have the all-important tiebreaker over NC State if it comes down to that. And the way things are looking, it looks like we're going to have some tiebreakers.
It absolutely is. And outside of this, an ACC play really playing to stay in that top 16 seed in the NCAA tournament, according to Charlie Cream, hang on to a 4 seed.
That's what Charlie says. If they lose this game, if Tech loses, they will fall out of the top 16. All important because you get to host. There's still a lot of basketball yet left to go. Kayla King, 3 threes in the first half. Eck hunted the rebound. Baldwin got in front of Kitley to take the ball away, and then Hayes knew it. She had nowhere to go and picked up her foot. Only the 4th turnover at NC State. Louisville, a big win earlier tonight over Notre Dame. To stay at 2 losses after they lost here on Monday night to the Wolfpack.
NC State coming out, looks like they're in a box and 1, trying to keep Georgia Amore from getting the ball, and Isaiah James takes the charge. There was some contact. She wasn't going to let her come off of the screen. Well, you can see how important Georgia Amore is by the attention that she's getting, okay? But it looks like a little bit like a box and 1, could have been a triangle and 2, but taking the contact.
In addition to her scoring prowess, Isaiah James also terrific at drawing charges, more than any other Wolfpack player. They chart them. Hayes driving the baseline, challenging Kitley. Samuel rebounds. James guarding Amore.
Yep, she's going to face guard her, try to not let her get the ball back. Look, they know the second half is Georgia Amore time. She likes to go to work.
Eck with another 3. She had 2 of them in the first half. And the 7-point advantage is the largest of the night for the Hokies.
When we saw Kenny Brooks in our game we had them at Florida State, he told us, I think she's going to make it every time she shoots the basketball.
The shooter's mentality. King, yes, the fans here wanted a turnover on the high dribble by Amore, but instead Amore gets another assist, and it's a 10-point advantage.
You cannot let them find wide open looks in transition. There's got to be more of a sense of urgency.
Kayla King with the 3. Amore with the assist. Hayes misses. A lot of one-and-dones now as they've started to miss.
And this could be a danger zone right here for the Wolfpack.
Eck. Nope. River Baldwin picked it up momentarily, but then Kayla King came away with it even though she was sitting on the floor. Samuel in and out. King with another rebound. Very active on the glass, the Hokies.
Yeah, Westmore is going to want a timeout right now. The energy from his squad coming out of the halftime has not been good. Virginia Tech against the box and 1. Little misdirection, finds the open 3, and in transition, no sense of urgency in transition defense for the Wolfpack, and Hokies making them pay.
Virginia Tech has twice as many rebounds as NC State. Westmore has indeed taken a timeout. Welcome back. Virginia Tech with a couple of 3s to start off this half, now up by 10, and look at the discrepancy in the assists.
12 assists to 17 made field goals. That is tough to defend. You never know where it's going to come from. Sharing the ball, moving the defense, as opposed to 1 assist on 12 made field goals for the Wolfpack. A lot of ISO ball, a lot of one-on-one, a lot of quick shots.
Amore with the basketball. She's got 6 assists on her own. Virginia Tech 5 rebounds in this third quarter. State none. Amor. Short. Brooks is coming to the game to give him a little shot in the arm, the talented freshman.
I feel like sometimes even when NC State has an advantage, they have the defense under duress. They stop and they hold it and they set it up and they allow the defense to set itself again.
Amor almost forced another turnover. Shot clock winding down for Rivers. They need a shot. Hayes with the drive. Eck with the rebound. Amor settles as she looks over towards the Virginia Tech bench. Samuel comes out to give King a little.
Got to switch. You got a mismatch right here.
They do, right? Samuel being guarded by Brooks. Amor zips it to King. Shot clock at 4. Kitley needs to shoot. An extra dribble. They're not going to get one off. Good defense by Collins.
That was great individual defense by Mimi Collins. Getting into space, staying active.
The 9th turnover for the Hokies. There's River Baldwin on the bench. Collins getting the defensive assignment on Kitley. And vice versa. Collins with that unorthodox delivery. And State is still getting shut out in this quarter. King. Now Rivers, that's the first rebound for NC State in this quarter. Hayes left open. Got it. Much needed basket for the Pack.
Well, this is an NC State team that is at their best when they've got multiple players scoring the basketball. Getting Maddie Hayes, Mimi Collins, River Baldwin, Zoe Brooks. They've got to get going here in this second half.
That gets the crowd involved. Amor. Nope. Kitley took her time and got fouled.
Georgia Amor's been short on a lot of her shots, and there's Kitley right there for the rebound. That's the trouble when you're playing undersized. You got a body up down low, and the arm just comes down over the top.
Second one on Collins. Saturday on the ACC Network and the ESPN app, it's lacrosse time. Openers for the number 3 Virginia men and the number 23 Clemson women. Coverage begins at noon Eastern on Saturday. Softball started today.
How about that?
Softball.
Opening day?
That's right. Oklahoma, the defending champ several times over. Among those teams in action today. Baldwin too strong off glass that time. Amor going to her left, beautiful.
And you know what else was beautiful? Just the way she set it up. So they got everybody loaded up on one side of the floor. She rejects the screen. She knows the rotation is coming, and it's perfect delivery.
James, who was so hot to start the game with the miss. And they work so well together. Amor and Kitley, it's a 12-point advantage for the Hokies, trying to sweep NC State for the second straight season. It is February, Black History Month, and we honor Kenny Brooks, the first black head coach to win the ACC Women's Basketball Tournament. That was last season. He and Liz Kitley and company combined to beat Louisville, and this came shortly after Niele Ivey won the regular season championship, first black coach to do that. And Trudy Lacey, who played right here at NC State, played for Kay Yow, first African-American woman to have a full 4-year basketball scholarship. She was terrific, All-American and a legend. So Kenny Brooks and Trudy Lacey among the great African-Americans who have contributed so much, not just to this game, but to society. Matilda Eck just picks up her third personal foul. I love when Georgia Amor does this. Goes over and talks to Kenny Brooks while the opposing team is hitting a free throw. They communicate the entire game.
Yeah, they really do, and she is such an extension of him off the floor, and they watch film together quite frequently, almost after every game, and just there's such great synergy between the two.
And that's so important, as you know, for a point guard and head coach to be on the same page. Marty Hayes coming off a double-double against Louisville on Monday night. Delivered at the free throw line after X-foul. Here's Brooks. Driving on Amor. Maybe that'll get him going.
Well, Zoe Brooks has the ability to change the game with her energy. She can score, does a great job defensively. That's the 10th turnover for the Hokies.
Tech is led by as many as 12. It's now down to 8. James tried to draw another charge. Eck, very short. Kept alive by Hayes and picked up by James. James has not scored in this quarter after having 17 in the first half.
And they've changed the matchup, so Isaiah James is guarding Georgia Amor in the second half. It's consuming a lot of her energy.
That was really a low percentage pass picked off by Kitley. Amor tells King to get to the other side of the floor. Goes up in the air for Kitley. Clear out against Baldwin. West goes off the rim. And then Rivers. So effective.
No one can stop her in transition. Got to stop the ball, pick up the ball. She has to stay aggressive.
And a foul called away from the ball. It's so loud in here, we didn't hear the whistle. It's a 6-0 NC State run to cut the 12-point lead in half. Baldwin has just picked up her second for State. Kitley, baseline, short again. Kept alive by King.
Kayla King has been all over the offensive glass.
Amor with another miss. Virginia Tech has missed 9 of its last 11 shots. Rivers. Kitley with her 10th rebound. Another double-double, and she's just made ACC history. Passing Chris Moreland, the former Duke superstar, for most double-doubles in the history of this conference. King, after a hot start, is cooled off from 3. Strack gives him an extra possession. Eck, huge. Stop the run.
The offensive rebounds, the extra possessions. This is a Virginia Tech team that is so dangerous offensively. And each time you give them an extra possession, they make you pay.
They have 13 offensive rebounds. NC State just 3. James back rims it. Amor has 8 assists and 5 points. Eck again. Rattled out. Hustle, and that's a foul on King. That will be her 3rd.
Offensive rebounds lead to open threes, and that's just a terrific find by Georgia Amor. Matilda Eck knocking it down. There has to be a commitment by NC State to put a body on someone, to box out, to keep him off of the offensive glass.
Eck, Amor, and King all have over 53s on the season. That's exceptional. Zoe Brooks exceptional as well.
Splitting the defense. That was a tight squeeze. She got in there and knocked it down.
Amor. Struggling from the field in this game. And just swatted away by Strack. Eck, King, Wetzel, who's in for King, and Wenzel, her turn to join the 3 party.
No, not a lot of sense of urgency in transition defense. You got to get to the 3-point shooters. This is what Virginia Tech does. They spread you out. They make over 9 a ball game.
What a weapon to get it back up to 10. Collins turned, had space, and left it short, and now Virginia Tech can take the final shot of the quarter. Wenzel with the ball in her hands. Amor is all the way on the other side of the floor trying to get through traffic. Kitley doubled. Fans here thought Kitley walked. Amor hanging out, hits a three. Georgia Amor with a shot that just beats the buzzer.
They make you work on the defensive end of the floor. You try to come at them in a lot of different ways. They're poised, they're patient, they execute, they find the right play, the open shot. That could be the dagger.
Welcome back to Raleigh, North Carolina. Cam Ward and Stephanie White joining you. NC State cut a substantial lead down to 6, but then Virginia Tech, Eck hit a three, and then Georgia Amor right before the buzzer to get it up to a healthy 13-point advantage. And it's no surprise. It seems like the tougher the opponent, the tougher the moment is, Amor comes through.
Yeah, she absolutely does. And she hasn't shot the ball particularly well tonight, but she's had a really good handle on offense and who to get the ball to. And oftentimes, fourth quarter is Georgia Amor time.
She's only 3 of 11 from the floor, also has 8 assists and 6 rebounds. Virginia Tech trying to beat State for the second time this season. Baldwin buries it, her first field goal of the night. Virginia Tech, the last team to win in this building. 367 days ago. Kitley going to work on Baldwin.
You know it's coming. You know it's coming. She set you up because she's gone a couple of times over the left shoulder.
Yep, and that's the Kitley family, as always, in attendance. Rivers with a big elevation.
She makes it look so easy.
Got a dozen. James trailing the play as she hit the deck. Strack. She hustles.
Yes.
Freshman. Doesn't score a lot. Wenzel? Nope. Strack couldn't get it this time. Good box out by Hayes. James blew by the defenders, but couldn't get it in off glass. Still looking for her first points since the second quarter. There was a crash as Baldwin ran into Kitley. That is the third on River Baldwin. She will stay on the floor for now. Kayla King coming back in for Eck for Virginia Tech. Amor, a little bit of room thanks to the Kitley screen.
And better balance on that shot. Wasn't falling backwards. I love how at the end of possessions, if the Hokies don't get what they want, they go into that step up on the backside of action. It's tough to defend. Amor and Kitley are so good in it.
Hayes, big three.
Huge three, Madison Hayes. Boy, the Wolfpack have to find consistent second and third scorers. Maddie Hayes can be that.
They're actually shooting better from 3 percentage-wise than they are from 2 tonight. Kayla King, nope. James on the move. And then Georgia Amor just stuck her hands in there and messed the whole fast break up. King, too far under the basket. 10-point lead. Baldwin calling for it. Picks it up. Rivers couldn't handle it. Another turnover. Wenzel's going to wait for help. Always a good option to give it to number 5.
And good pace right here. So we've had 3 turnovers in a row. with both teams combined, Georgia Amor has a sense of we need to slow it down and run some offense. Kitley left open. It's too easy. At some point, you have to make an adjustment. Georgia Amor is so good at that pocket pass. You know Kitley can knock it down. Either you're going to challenge her to make them, or you've got to rotate, stunt, make her think about it. Steele. Hayes follows and was fouled. And Hayes is fired up. Hoping this can kickstart him. It's a big offensive rebound right here for Madison Hayes, and does a great job of gathering, getting into the defender. I love the emotion, pleading with her team right now. Let's go, step it up. Hayes having her 5th straight game in which she has scored in double figures, well over her season average. She's got 15 now. And now the pressure after the made free throw. I like the pressure. The Hokies have had a tendency to turn it over here tonight. Maybe you can get a couple of quick scores. Virginia Tech shooting into the student section and the band here, the loud part of the arena. King. And Kitley fouled. James looking for an explanation from Mishawaka, Indiana's own Rod Creech. Try to give those Hoosiers some shout-outs. So Kitley goes to the line. Collins just picked up her 3rd. ACC Network has gymnastics coming your way, as well as the ESPN app. Sunday afternoon, North Carolina will be in this building to take on NC State, starting at 4 Eastern time, and Kitley missed them both. A rarity. An opportunity to get it back into double digits. Collins back in the game. She has not hit a field goal tonight. Steele steps back, in and out. That's a good look for Lacey Steele. She can knock that down. Amor and Kitley have scored all 6 points for Virginia Tech in this quarter. And you know you're going to get a steady dose. Good defense by Mimi Collins inside. She's got the Kitley assignment with Baldwin out on the bench. Shot clock winding down for Amor. They need a shot. Kitley, nope. Turnover number 12. Collins lost it. Just under 5 minutes to go. This is 5-on-4 basketball. James is just now getting over midcourt. Eck pounded by Steele. That's a question. Virginia Tech up by 9 as we take a timeout in Raleigh. ACC women's basketball is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. Some of the sites around Reynolds Coliseum sold out the rest of the season. Very difficult ticket to get. Coach Westmore says people hit him up for tickets all the time, and he says, I'm empty. And look at this. Virginia Tech in 42 games has only beaten a top 3 opponent twice, and both times it was NC State. They're trying for the trifecta tonight. This is a storied matchup. I think these are two teams who they match up evenly. Both outstanding on both ends of the floor. King with the miss. The timeout. And if you're the Wolfpack, you got to get back to putting pressure on this defense. You got to get into attack mode.
James, after a terrific first half, is being shut out here in the second. 0 for 3 from the floor. That's 17 points in the first. Kitley turnaround, and Sumiel and Hayes locked up trying for the rebound, and they'll get Sumiel for the foul. Her first. Sumiel, a grad transfer from Wake Forest.
The horns action coming. Hokies worked on this today in shoot around. Got to get through that screen though. You cannot allow that mid-range pull-up.
Collins in position for the rebound, but Georgia Amor, the smallest player on the floor, went in there and grabbed it, and the possession arrow points in favor of the Hokies. Amor listed at 5'6". She does have one more year of eligibility remaining, and she's on the triple-double watch list right now. In this game, with 10 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists, had a triple-double last season.
Oh, that was a tough shot. Got to get something right here if you're the Wolfpack. Get to the rim, put some pressure on the defense, attack. Let's see how each person just sticks.
James getting it out to Rivers. Collins with the rare offensive rebound for State tonight. They're getting badly beaten on the boards. Rivers and King get tied up around the Collins screen. A lot of time off the clock. Brooks tried to get into Collins. And shot was rolled off the rim.
Especially off of an offensive rebound. You get a reset on the clock. It's a short clock. You got to get the ball to the backside. Defense is in scramble mode.
Kitley really having her hands full with Collins. Steps inside.
Not a lot you can do if you're Mimi Collins. You try to work and do your work early, and level of physicality was really good, but Kitley continues to work to get good position.
NC State has gone 4 minutes without scoring a point.
It's just too slow. Everybody is holding on to the ball too long. Got to get it moving. You got to force the defense to rotate, to shift. Break them down. Find the next pass.
Second foul on Kitley. And a whistle that came a little late. Liz is upset about it. And it sends Mimi Collins to the line where she is trying to score for the first time tonight. 0 for 9 from the floor and her first trip to the free throw line. Every Thursday, women's basketball doubleheader right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Next week, how about NC State at Notre Dame? That should be fun. And then Duke at Virginia Tech, all next Thursday. Duke had to come from behind to beat Wake Forest tonight.
And did it soundly?
Approaching 2 minutes to go. Kitley bounces out. Eck is all alone momentarily. Now Amor steps back. Kitley, another rebound and a putback. Elizabeth Kitley doing her work, getting it up to an 11-point lead. 25 for Liz.
You can't relax. She just keeps coming at you. She works offensively to get position. She doesn't get it. She works to get the offensive rebound. As soon as you relax, she takes advantage.
Welcome back. Virginia Tech after another Kitley rebound and putback with an 11-point lead. And just like last year's game, the fourth quarter, last year's game against NC State, the fourth quarter has belonged to Kitley and Amor.
Those are the two. When the moment calls for it, they step up, they put the team on their back, and they go to work.
Well, NC State has gone into a drought at the worst possible time, missing 6 straight shots.
And this is again what happened in the last matchup.
Well, they missed, what, 11 straight?
Yes, missed 11 straight, went cold in the fourth quarter. Kidley and Amor take over offensively.
Back rim, they don't contest the rebound as we hit a minute to go. Big time collision, and the verdict is a charge on Brooks.
You know, this is not a team in Virginia Tech that turns their opponents over a lot, but they play great position defense. This is one of those situations. You know that Zoe Brooks is coming hard to the right hand. Kayla King tries to get herself in position, establish. Looks like she might have still been sliding a little bit. That could have been a blocking call. But what they've done in the fourth quarter, strong, solid position defense, finishing plays with a defensive rebound.
That's a foul. James frustrated. Zaya had such a terrific start to this game, but it's been shut out in the second half. NC State, no field goals now for 5.5 minutes.
This is one of
Kayla King coming alive tonight from the three-point line. We remind you to hang around because at the top of the hour, nothing but net crew. They're here.
They're here.
They're here. They're going to break down the night in the ACC. Kelsey, Kelly, Muffet, and Ivory. So check it out on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. They're tucked in a little corner here. It's just such a nice, as Courtney Banghart would say, small gym. And they'll be here to break down what has been a really interesting night. We've had an overtime game. Syracuse had a tough game tonight against Georgia Tech. And this game, the much anticipated rematch. We're not going to have a buzzer beater to win this one. Another impressive fourth quarter for Virginia Tech.
It really is. You know, they just put so much pressure on you to defend perfectly because they make the right play, they share the basketball, unselfish, and they continue to progress in their offense with such great pace.
Okay, NC State, are you concerned about these offensive droughts that they have?
I think you're concerned about it, and you go back to the film. The film doesn't lie. The ball's not moving. Players aren't moving. It's stagnant. It's iso ball. Everybody trying to do it on their own. And what has made them so tough this year is the balance, is sharing the basketball, is having 5 players on the floor at all times who can be a threat.
This is a Virginia Tech team that was picked to win the ACC for the first time in the history of their program. NC State picked 8th because of the large turnover. They got out of the gate 14-0, the first team to beat them, Virginia Tech. And Amor is 2 rebounds away from a triple-double. This is her 3rd straight double-double. And Virginia Tech will move to 19-4 on the season. The Wolfpack's 5-game winning streak comes to a halt. Hayes with the 3. She has a 20-point game. Madison Hayes has been a bright spot in the last 5 games offensively for this club, but they're still down by 9.
And it's really about them all putting it together at the same time again. You know, if you're NC State, it's not time to panic, but it's time to go back and reassess, hey, where we are, what got us to this point, right? Because NC State, to me, is a surprise team in the country. Nobody expected them to shoot to the top 5 immediately. Nobody expected them to come in and do what they've done this season. Now let's get back to doing what we did best to put ourselves in this position. Kenny Brooks has to feel terrific about coming into this environment and coming out with this win.
Virginia Tech will go home to play Boston College and Duke in their next couple of games. The BC game already close to a sellout. I think it's going to be sold out.
Yeah, it's
watch this game tonight. Go get those last tickets. Castle was special, and you know, Elizabeth Kitley doesn't have many games left at home. I believe only 3 more home games.
That's right.
And
Kayla King.
I'd be surprised if Amor comes back, quite frankly, next year. So this is a very special time for Virginia Tech basketball.
It absolutely is. And This is a special group, and you can tell how tight they are, how connected they are. They communicate. They're very focused and disciplined. You know, you watch them in shoot around, you watch them in practice, and they're so businesslike. They understand the opportunity in front of them. Now, Elizabeth Kitley has set the ACC career record with 73 double-doubles. Got another one tonight, breaking Chris Moreland's mark at Duke. And Chris Moreland played for Debbie Leonard. That was before Gail Gestencourt's era. So we're going back. That's pre Steph White. That was before my time.
It's not in the Steph White era. But Liz Kitley, just tremendous. And Mimi Collins did a really good job on her defensively, and she still comes up with a double-double.
She did, you know, and Liz Kitley's a tough check because she never stops working.
Never.
She works for position. If she doesn't get position, she works for the offensive rebound.
NC State goes to Pitt and then Notre Dame in their next 2 games. Kitley got rid of it. And a timeout taken by Kenny Brooks. Just under 10 seconds left to go. This will be the 4th straight win for Virginia Tech in this series. Last NC State win was in the ACC semifinals 2 years ago, on their way to their 3rd straight title. And then the year after that, it was won by Liz Kitley and company, the Hokies winning their first. And that was funny. Kenny Brooks today at shoot-around said that he and Wes Moore are combined for the last 4 ACC tournament championships. Of course, Wes has 3 of them, but technicality.
Technicality.
They're good friends.
They are.
Certainly a lot of respect
So
for
much
the other.
respect, yes, no doubt about it.
Rivers with the foul in the backcourt. This will just be the 3rd loss of the season for the Pack. 2 of them will be to Virginia Tech. And they lost a game at Miami in mid-January where Katie Meyer's team played out of their minds. They seemed to hit every shot.
Well, I mean, Katie Meyer does such an outstanding job at Miami. That's a tough place to play, a tough team to play. Wes Moore squad could not find a bucket. They just really struggled.
Kitley and Amor goes out, and Amor waves to the Virginia Tech. There's Ralph Loretta and, of course, Raven in her signature wig. Older sister of Liz. And the Hokies travel. We've seen down here a lot of them coming no matter where they play. They have a nice contingency.
Well, the Iowa-Virginia Tech matchup in Charlotte was an outstanding crowd. I think equal on both sides.
But Virginia Tech with the double-double from Kitley, the near triple-double for Amor. 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists for Georgia. And for the 2nd straight year, Virginia Tech has swept NC State. It's the first home loss for NC State since February 6th of last year when Virginia Tech came in here and beat them. And the 3rd time they've beaten the top 3 team, all 3 times, it's been NC State.
They've got their number
here lately. But what a performance for Kenny Brooks and his squad as they have now won 6 straight games. And they take care of NC State 72-61. Kitley played 39 minutes tonight. Got herself a double-double, a couple of blocks.
And it might not have always gone exactly as scripted. You know, Georgia Amor struggled from the floor, but that's what this team does, right? They're efficient. Liz Kitley is the anchor of everything that they do. They knock shots down from the 3-point line. They get hot in a hurry, and then they play good, solid defense to allow themselves to come away with wins.
Kitley was the ACC Player of the Year last year. She's the preseason Player of the Year this season. Maybe in a dogfight with her teammate Georgia Amor, and Liz Kitley is coming over now to join us live. And you hearing us okay? We're good to go.
Good to go, all right.
To this. So Liz Kitley tonight, 25 points, 13 rebounds, You just set the ACC career record for most double-doubles. Were you aware of that coming in?
I have no idea, but that's pretty cool. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, Chris Moreland of Duke used to have the record. Now it's all you. Great job tonight. What do you think was the difference there in the fourth quarter when State made the run?
I don't know. I think just as a team, we've been handling runs a lot better this season. I think we've been having a lot more confidence in each other, so we don't get frazzled as easily. And I think we showed that a lot tonight because NC State went on a couple runs, but we were able to answer them pretty well.
How nice was it to see Kayla King find the bottom of the net?
You are so right on that. So nice. She deserves it. She works so hard, and that's what she does. We know she can do that, so even when she gets in a slump, we still feed her the ball all the time.
And we're seeing some highlights now here. Mimi Collins was on you for a while. River Baldwin. You take a lot of punishment out there, don't you?
Yeah, that's all right.
You're trying to set her up right there, Pam, aren't you?
Well, I know that's basketball, but what was it like for you tonight with those two matchups in particular?
Yeah, obviously they're very different, but, Coach Brooks has put me in a lot of positions to be prepared for that kind of thing, different moves against the two of them, and obviously they're great players, so, I didn't shoot as well as I'd like personally, but still I think he prepared me really well and we were still able to win, so it's all good.
It's a grind in this league. You guys are still putting pieces together to be playing at your best. What does it look like when you are at your best?
Oh my gosh, when our shooters are hitting and when our defense is connected, we're really, really hard to beat. And I think we're getting a lot better at those two things at this time of the year, stuff that we didn't necessarily have at the beginning of the season. But, what better time than now? And going forward, that's really important.
And just like when you played NC State earlier in the year, it was you and Georgia Amor doing most of the work there in the fourth quarter. So Amor playing with her?
What?
What's that like playing with Georgia?
Oh my gosh, it's just like the back of my hand. Like the amount of times that we've done two-man game and practice together, you guys saw in shoot around, like that's what we do every single day. So we're just used to that, and when Coach Brooks calls plays for us, we're ready and familiar.
Yeah, well done. So another double-double, a record-breaking double-double tonight for Elizabeth Kitley, and they get yet another win against NC State. You swept them. Thanks a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
All right.
Thank you.
Liz Kitley, the reigning ACC Player of the Year, as her team, in a very tough environment, was able to take out NC State. For Stephanie White and the rest of our crew, I'm Pam Ward. As we say so long, it's time to get... It's Ladies' Night, Steph.
It's Ladies' Night. Let's go.
Kelsey Riggs in the building with the crew.
It is Ladies' Night. Welcome into Nothing But Net, coming to you live from Reynolds Coliseum, where you see a lot of Virginia Tech fans still hanging out, and for good reason, because for the second time this season in this top 20 showdown, they have taken down NC State. Been great to be here on site for this, as you see the band filing out alongside Coach Muffin McGraw, Kelly Gramlich, Ivory Latta hanging out now. And Coach, we know Raven. We see Liz Kitley's sister there. We've gotten to know her really well. We'll get to hear from Liz Kitley in a little while. But what did you think about how they were able to get the job done today and get the win?
Well, I know Kitley wasn't happy with the way she shot the ball, but she shot a lot of jumpers. To shoot 50% when you're shooting that far from the basket, that's pretty darn good. She rebounded as she always does. But I thought Kayla King really, for me, was the player of the game.
King and Eck, they both stepped up. Amor and Kitley didn't play their best games, which is crazy to think that Kitley had 25 and shot 50% from the field, and we're like, maybe not her best. But they were still good enough. But I thought Eck and King and the role players for Virginia Tech really stepped up, Ivory.
Yeah, like you said, tonight, really, Virginia Tech really showed that other players can step up other than, the dynamic duo. But I think that pick and roll, man, that thing is beautiful. I mean, you sit there and watch, it's like those two, the way they communicate is just amazing. They know exactly where to be. She know how to throw the correct bounce pass where it's in the pocket for her to take the shot. And I mean, have a bad game and you got 25, good gracious.
Speaking of things of beauty, alongside the Hall of Famer, Coach Muffin McGraw, Kelly Gramlich, Ivory Latta, the glasses that she's wearing, in case you don't remember, these glasses became, semi-famous last year at the ACC tournament when our girl Georgia Amor was rocking them from our researcher Jenny. And now the glasses are back. Virginia Tech is not back because it looks like that they have never left. You mentioned
she picked Virginia Tech too. That's why she's wearing the glasses.
She did pick Virginia Tech.
On ACCPM.
I did do it here before the game, but earlier you were on the Virginia Tech bandwagon.
Get you your flowers, boo. Thank you.
You guys mentioned it, but I want to dive a little bit deeper in this, because to see Virginia Tech get this win with so many other players contributing, Kelly. We always see Georgia do great things
we always see Liz Kitley do great things. How big of a difference is that for this team in the long run if this can be more effective?
Coach and I were chatting a bit earlier about this. I'm going to sound the Hokie alarm. I think they're peaking. I think they're peaking at the right time, just like they did last year. It was this time last year, February 6th, I believe, when they beat NC State here. They started playing really well. And this team bringing in new pieces, like you mentioned, Kels, there were going to be some growing pains, and there were with Virginia Tech. But I think we're at the point where this team knows what they want to do, how they want to play. Everyone knows their role. Eck and Kayla King are stepping into their own a bit more. And Amor and Kitley are two of the very best players in the country. When you have that, you can go far. And I think this was a big step for Virginia Tech to sweep NC State.
Oh, really big. And I don't know how high I can jump to get on that bandwagon, but I know.
Come on up, Coach.
I'd like to see that.
It was last year at this time I did the same thing. I was not a believer, but the way they played tonight, and you're right, we've been saying all along, they need somebody else. King and Epps both stepped up. And they did it with a lot of good defense, and I thought their zone was really effective today.
Yeah, definitely. Their zone was great, but one thing I know during the game, once they get the turnover, they was able to find each other, and they ran straight to the three-point line.
Love it.
I love it. The confidence in the other players, I mean, is great, but also when you got those two players and everybody's relying on them, you just got to be ready. Amor is going to find you. Hey, Kelly, if she find me and you, we shoot that thing. It's going up.
Ivory looked at me during the game and said, this is the Warriors.
That's what I was literally just about to say. You were like, I mean, if you don't give them something inside, then they're going to be like, okay, it doesn't have to be Amor. Tonight it was anybody.
Yeah.
Pass it outside and they can knock it down.
Running straight to the three-point line, but the thing was they had great spacing.
Yeah,
it was like boom, boom. They actually shared the ball, and that's what makes Virginia Tech a really great team. Once they share the ball and everybody else is hitting.
You look at Eck and Kayla King, the two role players, but very important roles for Virginia Tech. Of their 22 combined field goal attempts tonight, 20 were threes, and they made 8 of them. You're going to win a ton of games if you're Virginia Tech, if you can get that from Matilda Eck and Kayla King.
Yeah, no question about it. But, I kept saying, why don't they double-team Kitley? And then they hit a three.
Then they
hit another three. And I was like, why are you double-teaming? You got to get out and guard the three-point line.
11 threes for Virginia Tech. Georgia Amor only had 2 of them. So that speaks to the depth from this team and how hot they were from beyond the arc. Let's get you to the highlight and show you how it all went down here from Reynolds Coliseum tonight. And this top 20 showdown, these two teams played just about a month ago, and it was a buzzer beater from Virginia Tech that won it. River Baldwin is in the lineup this time. She wasn't last time. Isaiah James was here. She was hot.
She was hot in the first half, balling, crossing everybody over.
17 first half points for her. None in the second half. More on that later. But Liz Kitley with the layup. Virginia Tech up 4 at the half. Then, Coach, here's Kayla King from the corner.
Yeah, that was a huge three. I think she was confident shooting the ball tonight.
That extended their lead to double digits, made it a 10-point game. But Kelly Matilda Eck getting involved too.
Eck and King, those are the X factors for Virginia Tech. Kelsey Riggs.
How about Georgia Amor? Another impressive night for her, even though she didn't put up the numbers she normally does.
She didn't put up the numbers, but she still was effective passing the ball, getting assists, had 10 assists.
She almost had a triple-double.
Yeah, she did.
Liz Kitley
bang, bang.
knocks down the jumper. Virginia Tech takes a 12-point lead. They win it 72-61, the final here in Raleigh. And with that, how about our girl, Liz Kitley, and what we see tonight from the 2-time ACC Player of the Year? I mean, this is a pretty, I think, just good summation of her career, obviously. But to now have 73 double-doubles, coach the most in ACC history. You've coached some legendary players. You've seen some legendary players. What do you think about Liz Kitley and what she's been able to contribute?
It's amazing. First of all, how long that record's been.
Yeah.
Since 1980, in the 1980s,
That's a long
way
time
back
ago.
before y'all were born.
Yeah.
And this is something that she can do every single night. You cannot stop her. She's a terrific rebounder. She works so hard, and she can score.
That's part of Kitley's game that I feel like we don't talk about enough is her rebounding.
Yeah.
She's consistently at the top of the ACC in rebounding, double-double every single night. Defensive rebounds where she just clears the glass for Virginia Tech. Other teams don't get opportunities. It's a huge asset for the Hokies.
Yeah, absolutely. One word pretty much describes her is effortless. The jump shot, the pick and roll, the rebounding.
She makes it look easy.
She makes it look so easy, and I'm just sitting there like, well, is she sweating? She makes it look effortless. And I mean, great player, 25. and you had an off night, oh my goodness, I don't even want to see anything else.
And how well she responded to the physical defense,
Yeah.
because River Baldwin, I mean, they were laying on her the entire game, and she handled it so well.
And I can't remember which one of it looked at me at one point, and it was like, it doesn't matter what you do. Eventually, she's going to find a way to score, Kelly.
For sure, because she can shoot the ball so well. I think she's the best shooting post player in the country, maybe one of the best we've seen in the college game with how she can shoot the ball, Coach. And yeah, like to our point, or what she said in the post-game interview, 50% from the field, and she said, I didn't shoot it like I wanted to tonight. That's crazy, okay? That's unheard of.
The bar is set so high for Liz Kitley, and she has said it herself. We'll get to hear from her in just a little while, as well as Kenny Brooks, so looking forward to that. Welcome back into Ladies Night, coming to you live from Reynolds Coliseum, and it has been a phenomenal top 20 showdown. The win streak continues for Virginia Tech, now 6 in a row. And we got one of the stars, two-time ACC Player of the Year, Liz Kitley, here hanging out with us on set. And Liz, first of all, I just have to get this out of the way. We were just standing, and I was really excited because you were getting to stand by Ivory. And she tries to say that she's like, I don't know, 6 feet, so... Oh, sorry. Liz, it was such a dramatic, exciting finish in that first one. This one, you guys able to handle things a little bit more in the second half. What was the difference today?
I think just as a team, we've been getting better in general. I still think NC State is a really good team. They tested us a lot the first game. We were able to fight through it. But I think, when our shooters are hitting, and I think our defense has gotten a lot better, we're better as a team, and, we're able to play teams with a little more wiggle room. But the last game was fun. It was exciting, wasn't it? This one was so exciting.
Did you see anything on film that you thought, this is where we can get the win today? We've got to attack here?
Yeah, I think, it was different knowing that River Baldwin was going to play. But, that's a matchup that I'm pretty comfortable with just because we've played each other so many times. But that's how it is with NC State, period. I think this is like my 12th time playing this school. I'm not even exaggerating, which is crazy. So we're just really familiar, and obviously we played them, a couple weeks ago. So Coach tweaked a few things, and we were able to have, once again, a little more wiggle room.
Well, Liz, we know so much about you and Amor, what you guys do, right? It's all out there. But when Matilda Eck and Kayla King are shooting the ball like they are, they each make 4 threes tonight. What is the ceiling for you guys when they play like that?
Oh my gosh, it's so high. Obviously me and Georgia get a lot of the defensive attention, but, that just gives our shooters more room, especially on the pick and roll action. If they want to bring, 3 people to us, and we are able to swing the ball, move the ball, and be unselfish, and, Kayla and Matilda can hit like they can. Carly had a big one. We're really hard to guard.
Were you watching our show? Because we were talking about the pick and roll action
Really?
and then passing out of it, yeah?
Oh, yeah, we were working that all week.
What was the preparation like, knowing that you was going to come into probably a sold-out arena, playing against this team? You made the shot. What was the game plan and the atmosphere at practice and things like that?
We were just really excited. Obviously with them being so highly ranked and it being an away game, we knew that it was just a massive opportunity for us. And, we looked at that as a good thing, not something that we were scared of. And I think we just also have so much confidence in our team right now. I think we're playing really well. We're having a lot of fun together, which is the best part. Coming into this game, we were feeling really good.
You set that ACC double-double record tonight with 73, and I know you care about the wins, you care about the team, you care about the long-term goals, but that had been around since the 80s. What does that mean to you, just for what it says about your career, the longevity of it, and what you've been able to accomplish?
Yeah, obviously I'm grateful to have been able to play so many games. I wouldn't be breaking some of these records without the COVID year, so I have to acknowledge that. But I'm just so lucky to be at Virginia Tech and to be in this position with Coach Brooks and for him to put me in these situations, because I just wouldn't have been nearly as good or successful anywhere else. I owe 90% of it to him. I work hard, though. That's part of it.
Liz, you talk about your defense being connected. What does that look like?
Yeah. Well, obviously we're not, necessarily the most athletic team. We don't necessarily pass the eye test, but we can be really long, and we can be good at rotations when we're locked in. And I think that's been getting a lot better. Obviously, we have had a lot of new pieces, so we haven't always been, so on the same page on the defensive end of the floor. But in our 23rd game or whatever it is, we're much farther along.
Liz, last year around this time, maybe even the NC State game here last year, it felt like you guys hit a different level, maybe started to peak, if you will. Is Virginia Tech starting to peak now?
Yeah, I guess, we just like to stress people out in the beginning of the season and then really hit our stride. I don't know what that's about, but, this is a better time than November, so I'll take it.
I got a question.
Okay.
You and Georgia Amore pick and roll is amazing. Do y'all at like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning go in the gym by y'allself and just do pick and roll extra? Because I mean, when I tell y'all like step by step, bounce pass right into the pocket. Like, are y'all doing like some extra hours?
Coach Brooks gives us plenty of hours during the day. We do that all the time. Like, seriously, every single day. It's me and her working on stuff and position split. So credit to him. He's really prepared us for this.
Well, they are roommates. I'm just envisioning you guys like, okay, hey, can you grab something out of the fridge? Sure. You're kind of passing it in the kitchen. None of that?
Maybe. I'm not
Occasionally.
Oh, man, Liz, before we let you go, you guys seem like you're such a fun team, such a close-knit team. You can see the chemistry and the camaraderie. It's got to be really fun to be on the road, get this win, and then go get on that bus, playing all of the things home. What's that like after a win like this?
Oh my gosh, we were already having a blast in the locker room. We were absolutely screaming our lungs out. I think there's going to be some embarrassing videos on Twitter later. But we were just having fun, so it's okay.
Who's going to be the most embarrassed on Twitter later?
Oh.
From that video?
Rose was going hard.
Yeah.
Georgia was going hard. I don't know if those will make Twitter, though.
You have the glasses.
Yes,
and
the
those
shades.
were
Come on,
legendary
Liz.
last year.
Let's
Georgia
go.
Amore was wearing them. Liz Kitley right now, the double queen. Liz, always good to spend some time with you. We appreciate the time. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Well, Virginia Tech, for the second straight year, has swept NC State, and they were in control for most of the game. A little bit of a run for State, but boy, what a big one now for Virginia Tech. They are in first place all by themselves now.
Well, to come into this environment and come away with a win, I mean, they put together 40 minutes. It wasn't always pretty, but they answered every run. They made the plays that needed to be made on both ends of the floor, and they stifled the Wolfpack in the fourth quarter defensively.
And in the fourth quarter, we saw a whole lot of, who else? Elizabeth Kitley.
Absolutely. Georgia Amore and Elizabeth Kitley getting it going, but Kitley was special. I mean, she always seems to be. She makes it look easy. She takes everybody's punishment on the offensive end of the floor, the physicality. So what does she do? She stretches the floor. Georgia Amore tries to make her life a little easier, forcing rotations, but just another terrific individual effort by Liz Kitley inside.
So Kitley with the double-double, the most in the history now of the ACC for a career, and most importantly, Virginia Tech now has the half-game lead over Louisville to be in the top spot in the ACC. A near triple-double for Georgia Amore, and Elizabeth Kitley and company take it, sweeping NC State, winning tonight in a sold-out Reynolds Coliseum by the final score of 72-61. The Hokies going to have a fun bus ride home to Blacksburg.
They sure are, and I'm sure this man is going to be leading all of the fun because we've got Kenny Brooks here with us now. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Another big win against a ranked program, a big ACC foe. What's this one feel like for you when you get to walk in that locker room and see everybody celebrating?
It feels fantastic because you're instilling belief in them, all throughout the year. And as you get to this point, you walk in and you tell them, if you do this, if you do that, you can be victorious. And then when it starts to come to fruition, you seem like a genius, and they'll listen to anything you say after that, but it is. But, these kids have worked hard. They worked tireless all year. I think there were some unfair expectations put on us early just because you don't just plug and play. You get transfers, and it takes time. You have freshmen who are going to play for you. It takes time. And but I'm very proud of our leadership, with Liz, Georgia, and Kayla. They're battle tested. They've been to the Final Four. And not only did they spread their, influence over the kids from just watching them, they're starting to be vocal leaders. And that's really helped us get to this point where we are.
And that's why I hate the preseason polls.
Oh.
and you were, but anyway, let's move on.
Right.
I thought tonight maybe your most complete game. I always look at games and I think, I can work on this. We'll show them a little film on that. I thought you played really well both ends of the floor. A lot of really good stuff.
We did. And Coach, what we are, we know who we are. And, a lot of times there's speculation about our defense or, a lot of different areas of our game. We're not going to be a certain type of team that's going to run out, trap, press, cause some havoc. Mm-hmm. We're just not built that way. But we know how we are built. And the kids are starting to play to that philosophy. They're understanding their assignments. It's a very, very high IQ basketball team. The way that they tell me stuff. I'm like, sure, go with it. Yeah, go with it. But it's a thing of beauty, and that when you don't have to coach every movement. And when they're telling each other where to go, and they're feeding off each other, and but it's taking a little bit of time to get to that point. And I like where we are because there's so much familiarity right now. You know, we played UNC. I think it was the 11th time that Liz had played against them. They know all of our plays.
Yeah.
You know, NC State, we played against them. They know all of our plays. So now we have a couple players, or a lot of players, that we can just put in position to say, okay, you know it's coming. Stop it. And I like where they are and the way that they're playing with each other right now.
And it feels like going off of that tonight, you guys really did a good job of hitting your second and third option off of sets. And Kayla King, Matilda Eck, were both huge for you guys, Coach. We've talked about Kayla King and her importance. What is the ceiling for this team if those two play like that?
You know what? And I thought we let them off the hook a couple of times because they could have made a couple more.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then it really expands, it just busts the game wide open. But you know, this league, there are a lot of great coaches, a lot of film watching, and you know, sometimes it's a copycat league. And so we've been doing the pick and roll very well, and so people are starting to cover it certain ways. And so we're working on different things too. We're looking for different options off of it. You know, our kids watch film tirelessly, and it came to tonight. You know, when they did a lot of the same things as some of the previous teams did. We found that second and third option, and we got some clean looks. And our shooters are too deadly to just give them clean looks. So it's almost putting it back in a situation of pick your poison. Do you want to double Liz? Do you want to take away her? If you do that, we have other options out on the perimeter.
Yeah, I like how you're being very modest about, our pick and roll we did good.
Best in the country, arguably.
Pretty much the best in the country. But as I'm sitting there watching, you guys' secondary is like by far one of the best in the ACC. Like, as far as the secondary, you guys look just like the Warriors, where y'all just get it up, pass. If there's an extra pass, you get it and you shoot it. Like, what is the preparation like that at practice and, getting the girls on one page?
We have always stressed, one more. Sharing the basketball. We're one of the better teams in the ACC in assists. I think it's us and Notre Dame. And we take pride in that. The kids love a one more. Sometimes they do one more too many times. They have the shot, but they love to celebrate in each other's successes. That they don't care if it's one more. And it doesn't matter who hits a three. They're throwing up whatever they do in the celebrations and whatnot. But that is great for our group. And if we could continue to do that, we're very hard to guard because we share the basketball at a very high clip, and that's what makes us really dangerous.
I was one of the doubters about your defense, your man-to-man defense.
I think they heard you say that.
Taking you off the dribble, but I love the zone.
Yeah.
I think the zone was spectacular tonight. So
play a
little more.
I tell you, like our kids are basketball junkies. They listen to you guys all the time, so just beware. Beware. But they never get angry. They're not going to try to go out and prove you wrong, anybody wrong. They're just trying to prove themselves right. They know who they are.
Yeah.
They know what we're doing and what they have to do. And it's the way we built it. And from day one, we stress team defense because I know if we play a one-on-one tournament, my kids are all losing. They're all losing, and we know that.
Yeah.
But we know that if I funnel you here and then we do this, and we're very long. With the exception of Georgia, everyone is 6 foot and taller. So we'll try to put you in a certain situation and contest your shot, and then we do a really good job of rebounding the basketball, and that's who we are. So I'm very proud of them, and I'm very proud that they are very aware of what's going on around them. They love basketball. They're constantly watching and texting me, did you see this game? They watch more than I do. and so you guys beware. They hear everything you say. Not that they're going to hold it against you, but it just, they know who they are and they work hard.
So I inspired them.
We're just trying to get bulletin board material. Yeah, Coach is just trying to help, as she always does. Coach, just one more for me. I love the lineup of Kitley and Strack together. And it feels like you can play that more as Strack is developing. What look does that give you?
She's big. She's 6'5". She moves exceptionally well for a 6'5", and she is so smart. She is so smart. She plays angles. What she lacks in quickness guarding a quicker player, she makes up for it with her length, and she blocks shots at a high rate. She on another team, she would be a lot better. She would get more time and more touches. When we go to practice and Liz does in practice, she gets buckets. She really does. And the only issue is she's playing behind an All-American.
Yeah.
And so, but playing them together, they work very well together. Liz absolutely loves playing with her. Loves it. She talks about it constantly. Claire is a really good high-low basketball player, but she's doing a really good job, and she's been great for us the last 5 games.
She has.
It was fun to watch tonight. And, Coach, before we let you go, I think Kelly brought it up earlier that your team feels like last year you really started peaking at the right time. Yeah. Now you have the experience of last year. You know what it takes. These girls know what it takes. How do you feel about where this team, I know you're not going to project anything out, but how do you feel about where this team is right now, given you know what it takes to get to where you were last year?
Well, the only thing that we think about is today, and today I feel great. So
I just got a top 3 win on the road. I feel good.
It's going to be a really nice ride home. You know what? I don't know what movie we're going to watch. I did veto the Barbie movie coming up. That was just, I couldn't take that one. But you know what? Whatever they want to watch going home, I'll let it happen. But this team does a phenomenal job of focusing on the moment.
Wow.
They don't look to the next part. You know, we enjoy today.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to celebrate it. We're going to celebrate it. We're going to have fun with it. We'll watch film tomorrow, and then we'll get on to whoever we're playing on Sunday. And that is a beauty with this group. They are phenomenal at that. And just really locking in focus. Because if you look ahead, you can lose your way. You can get depressed. You know, because the run, the stretch. You know,
in the ACC.
In the ACC, exactly. So you just need to really focus on what's going on today, and our kids do a phenomenal job of that.
Well, Coach, we enjoyed being here for it today. Don't get mad at me, because the next thing we have is a promo that says you guys are playing on our air Thursday, so I know we're focused on tonight.
Okay.
But we're going to take a look ahead,
that's my cue.
and say that you guys are back on ACC Network next Thursday. Kenny Brooks, we appreciate the time.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. Somebody that knows all about what it takes to win an ACC tournament is the great Kay Yao, who continues to be celebrated as we sit here tonight, honored to be on Kay Yao court. Her legacy goes beyond wins and losses, but here are some of the numbers. 737 games across the 38-year career, including 680 at NC State. Also, she guided the Wolfpack to 5 ACC regular season titles, 4 ACC tournament titles, 11 Sweet 16s, and the Final Four in '98. And all of this added up to her being inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2002. So such an incredible career that she had and a legacy that she left behind, the impact that she's had on so many. The Kay Yao Cancer Fund, officially founded December of 2007, the vision to support advanced research and serve the underserved. The fund has awarded over $8 million in grants to help fight cancers affecting women. As I mentioned, it is an honor to be here live in person for this incredible matchup, but also to be sitting here on Kay Yao court and get to talk about her legacy. So much of it, of course, is talked about and highlighted throughout the Play for Kay games. Ivory, that means so much when people get to wear that pink and get to play for Kay and get to really represent and show off what she meant to women's basketball.
Oh, it meant a lot. I was actually in 2007. I was able to be here whenever they ended up beating us. We was up by 26 halftime. Whatever speech she gave them, they came out and just tore us up. But to be a part of it and know the things that she's doing, saving lives and helping these ladies, with the cancer. I mean, it's just, it brings tears to your eyes that she still has an effect. Even though she's not here, you can still feel her presence just being in this gym.
It brings the entire women's basketball community together. And we mentioned that with Summer Erb earlier in ACC PM. How cool is it to see your coach's name? Everybody out there, Play for Kay, West Coast to East Coast, all over the place.
That's the best part. It's a national movement.
It is, and it impacts so many people and has the opportunity to change so many people's lives, because everybody knows someone who is affected, has been affected, fighting, or continues to win that battle against cancer.